looks like we got a new friend!
Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to BB's Place with the Crafting Muse. Oh, hi everyone. Before we go around and say hello to these wonderful faces, let's go through our usual startup announcements. First of all, we have social links. Check out our Discord, Twitter, and YouTube following those links. We also have a Patreon. You can support us over there for as little as $1 a month, and every dollar is greatly appreciated. And we also have some free articles over there as well. We have some merch. Go and get this crest on your chest over on the Redbubble site. Oh, hi, where are you? It's white. That's not what I see. This could be interesting. Can I get some confirmation from chat? Have we got a visual problem here? I can see Eris is one. I mean, that seems like confirmation, but... we can see? Okay. Well, let's carry on. Where was I? Merch! Yeah, go and get some crests on your chest. Next we have sponsors, Bird and the Storm Publishing. Go and check out, they create content for D&D and other TTRPGs in the form of modules. And also we have Mage Hand Press, who created the Dark Matter Alpha, a sci-fi expansion for D&D 5e. And they also created some other expansions, which we'll be exploring in more detail next season. Below the screen you will find tabletoploot.com, eresavad.com, who's also in chat, oh hi Eris, and ruinc.com. And you can get 10 to 15% discount on each of those sites using my codes. We also have a tweet. Every 10 retweets will gift some minor magical items. So feel free to retweet to help us out. That is the same as the £10 donation level. So if you'd like to just skip that and just give us some minor magical items, you know, we won't say no. Yeah, that's me. Let's go around and say hello to everyone. V, would you like to take over, or would you like me to handle introductions?
Hi, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm V. I am the Crafting Muse. You'll find me over on YouTube doing my usual building terrain, painting minis, and all that lovely stuff. Also find me over on Twitter. And today we're going to be playing the lovely homebrew that I am creating for D&D in a castle with Nerdarchy called Welcome to BB's. So if you're here last week, you got to see that in action. I'm very excited to have a couple new players with us today to do this as well. So it's going to be some more exploring of this lovely little place. So if you're here last week, hopefully enjoy where things are going to go with it this week. As you can see, we have some new faces here. We have Lynn and we have Alex here with us. So I think I don't have the screen open to Twitch. Who's below? Let's go clockwise. Scott, you're below? Or me?
I think I'm below.
All right, so then Alex, why don't you start us off with who you are, your preferred pronouns, and who your character is, their preferred pronouns, as well as those fun 3 little quirks that they have going that have been set up for us by Katie, who unfortunately could not be here today.
Okay. How's it going, everybody? Glad to be here. I'm MongrelFX. You call me Alex. I do streaming on Twitch, fitness, anime-related stuff. I've been playing Jump Force lately. On Instagram and Twitter as well. I want to thank Scratticus and everybody involved. Thank you so much for having me on. I love D&D. I'm recently new player, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing. So I can't wait to be on it. Hopefully more in the future. So my character name is Nizar, and half-orc paladin. Where were the quirks that you were talking about?
They're in that very first part of your character sheet where it says bio.
Gotcha. Oh, okay, like relentless endurance.
Yeah, okay. Let me see.
So I've got relentless endurance when I'm reduced to 0 hit points, but not killed outright.
Oh, no. That's, hold on, I'll switch over for you. It's if you go to the very top tab where it says bio and info.
Got it. Okay.
There should be 3 things. Okay. There you go. Yeah, now you got it.
Just read these out?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Performs an intricate prayer ritual to Lathander when he wakes every morning. Oh, that's okay. And easily obsessed with things and travels with pockets full of hard candies from his home. Gotta respect a guy who travels with hard candies. You know?
Absolutely. Always be prepared. So that is what we have our wonderful Alex playing today. And Nazar has appeared a few times for Stories to be Told, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun with him. So that being said, let's move over to Ms. Lynn.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lynn Meyer, and I am one of the writers for Volume 1 of Uncaged, which is coming out next month. So if you've been following Ashley Warren and a bunch of us, you've probably seen us talking about that a bit. So look for me a bit more on Twitch, maybe doing a little bit of a charity live stream to benefit Rain. We're trying to put something together about that. So more info to come. Today, I am going to be playing a lovely Sirf Niblin named Marple Greatleaf. I love that name so much. Pronouns are she and her, and I love her little quirks. Do not talk to her about anything in relationship to her family's business, the Great Leaf Tea Company. The question is why? And she is, ironically, for a Sirf Niblin, just a little unnerved by fungi. And I relate to this because so am I. And she can just occasionally be caught staring off into space sometimes, and who knows what she is thinking about. So that is who I am playing.
Wonderful. I love these 2 PCs. They're fun. And finally, we have our darling Scrat.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Today I'll be playing Bert Sternbach. Bert Sternbach is a dwarven barbarian, and they also have certain quirks. They wring their hands when they're not holding something, so often you will see that they will just pick things up and just turn them over to keep their hands busy. They do not like the wringing of the hands. They think it might make people nervous. They are prone to bursts of excitement over seemingly nothing, but when they see some intricate masonry or ironwork, they just get a pump of adrenaline, and they can't really explain why. It just excites them to no end. And they like to do a proper warm down after exercise, so often after combat you'll see them shaking off their limbs and pacing it out and trying to make sure they don't get any of the aches and pains from afterwards.
I love it. That'll be perfect. So because everyone has these fantastic little quirks, and this is something that Katie has built into the Stories to be Told, you all get to start out with a point of inspiration, and we use those if you want to roll with advantage. Now, if you want to get those back, that means that you have to somehow incorporate one of these 3 quirks into your role play as we go through the game. And if you do, after you've used up your first bit of inspiration, then you'll get another little bit of inspiration as we play. And then we also have the 10th retweet, if that comes through. I have a lovely list of some wondrous items that we can pull in for some fun as well. So we'll see if we get there, what we're going to have to work into the game. And it should be a lot of fun. So if everyone is all set and ready, want to get this started?
Okay.
Do it.
All right, great. So the three of you have just finished up, one of your major adventures as usual. You've sat down at a tavern, you're enjoying your beverage of choice, and basically just sort of relaxing and recuperating. It's your usual collection of people. You have your surly drunk sitting in the back corner, kind of muttering into his beer. You have the barkeep kind of side-eyeing this particular person. But overall, it's sort of a quiet time of day. It's a little bit after lunchtime, and everyone's kind of gone off and doing their own thing. Like I said before, you're sort of resting and recuperating and just sort of giving yourselves the day off. And you notice that the door opens to the tavern, and it lets in this bright, shining light for a little bit. And everyone kind of winces a little bit because it's a little bit more dim inside. And that door is going to close. And when it closes and everyone's eyes adjust, you see this little old woman kind of stooped over, carrying her staff. And as she's walking, there's that shuffle, click, shuffle, click, shuffle, click. And she gets in closer and she walks up to the bar and she pushes back her hood, and she's got this long silvering hair. And even though her features are kind of older, you can tell at one time she was probably a very striking woman. And she's pulling herself up to the bar, and she just mutters something quickly to the bartender and leans over to her, and you see them kind of whispering a little bit. And then you notice they're pointing at you. And they keep talking a little bit more, and she's nodding her head, and he's, kind of muttering as well. And the more they're talking, the more they're not just sort of glancing over, they're actually fully looking at you. And he kind of bangs his head on the bar, or not his head, but his hands on the bar, and he walks off, and she turns around, and you see her coming over your way. And again, she's got this heavy dark cloak on. She's got this long staff that's probably about as tall as she is. And she's walking your way with this little slow shuffle click, shuffle click, shuffle click. And she gives you this smile. So you're the adventurers I heard about. What would you like to do?
Looks like we got a new friend.
I don't know what I think about this. Have we ever seen her before? Have I ever seen her before?
Do an insight. Let's see.
Because I'm a little bit distrustful of all of this.
Which is perfectly fine. Let's give an insight check and see where you go with that one.
Okay, let's see.
All right, so you don't want to admit it, but she kind of looks like one of those little old ladies you almost see in every village you've been to, just by the nature of how she's kind of keeping herself and everything like that. But she's not setting off those gut alarm bells, if you want to put it that way.
Okay. So maybe you know us?
Welcome to the academy.
Well, I don't know you personally, but your reputation precedes you, I will say that.
Bert's kind of used to this. He slayed a monster one time near the mine, and he's not heard the end of it. So he's just all like, yes, okay, yes, I'm the adventurer. What is it that you want?
Nazar knows, you can't really trust many people, especially somebody like walking in out of nowhere that you don't even know. He's wondering if that walking stick's actually a high-level weapon.
You want to do an investigation on her?
Let's do it.
You pretty much take a look at the stick, and as far as you can tell, it's just one of those old walking sticks you see many elderly people carrying around with them. Chances are she got it from a nearby tree, didn't exactly take the time to clean it up and make it look all polished, but it's extremely functional for what the needed use is at the moment.
Well,
Right now, he's just wondering. He's just wondering what was that conversation about at the bar, and what have you heard about us?
well, you see, the barkeep, Pritchard, he's very good about keeping me up to date about the comings and goings of people who come in here who are a little bit more notable because I'm having some problems at my farm and I do need assistance. And I was hoping I might be able to hire the three of you on to assist me with some problems.
What kind of problems?
Oh, well, it's just me now. My husband, he passed away not too long ago. And it just seems like at night that, I don't know, something is coming in. And I'd like to say it's a fox, but it's not a fox because foxes don't eat chickens at the rate my chickens are going. and I can't seem to keep them there long enough to even get the eggs going. And I have to sell the eggs to make a little bit of a profit and keep things going. And I was speaking with my neighbors, and they're insisting that this is definitely not a more natural reason why the chickens would be going away. And I've tried traps, and the traps aren't working. And I've hired, some farm hands, but they tend to, quite frankly, fall asleep half the time, and the chickens are gone by the time the morning comes back around.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's definitely, I know how much a chicken's worth. It's definitely unfortunate. Have the neighbors had any similar type of situation?
Oh, and that's a very bizarre thing. There's no issues happening at the neighbor's place. And, part of me is worried. We did have some slight financial issues right before my husband's death, but we did make sure to square them away. But I worry someone might be still taking it out on us a little bit and trying to get more from me because I'm just a simple old widow.
Well, I have an axe. Are either of you good at tracking? I guess if we don't have a tracker, I don't know how we're going to find the problem. I can deal with the problem, but tracking, ooh. And they're turning over an ale mug whilst they're talking, just rotating it around.
Well, we could take a look. I mean,
Let's do it.
I'm not doing anything today.
Oh, bless your hearts. I absolutely appreciate it. And I do promise I do have some money saved up for this. I made sure I saved up money before hiring anyone. So you will be paid for your services, and I'm hoping you'll be able to get it figured out this evening. Here is my address and where you can find me. And I made sure that you each have a copy because I want to make sure that, you can go and do some things this afternoon if you need to get gear or anything. But here you go. And she pushes across these 3 folded up pieces of parchments, and they all have a wax seal on them. And you see there's just a stamp on there of a swan shape. So it's just pretty much sort of just a usual wax seal. And she pushes one towards each of you, and she has, this little smile. She goes, thank you so very much. I've been waiting for some good, strong people like you. I look forward to see you, and I'll make sure I have supper and some, she looks over at Bert, and some extra ale as well before you have to go out this evening and keep an eye out on things. So I'll see you all later, and thank you again. And she just kind of turns around, and she's smiling over her shoulder, and she waves goodbye to Pritchard, the bartender, and it's that shuffle, click, and she opens up that door again, and more sunlight pours through. And as she leaves, you hear the door thud close, and those envelopes are sitting in front of you.
Free dinner sounds good to me, guys. So we go over there, handle this quick, and eat all the food we can.
Yeah,
Well,
extra ale too, that sounds good to me.
Let's do it.
well, I'm definitely opening up this envelope.
Okay.
I just want, I want to check out just anything about it, the address, any of it.
Okay. Are the rest of you going to open up the envelopes too and take a look?
Well, I mean, I might as well.
Yeah, I'll crack mine.
I'm not the fastest reader though, so I'll be tracing with a finger.
Okay, so you all open up your envelopes, and essentially it's giving a quick little, as you would expect from a dear little old lady, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is something I wish I could do on my own, but sadly the years are not with me. You can come to my home. I'm just down the dirt road. You want to go through the tunnel of trees. And then once you get there, just make sure you come up to the front door. And as you're reading this, you're going to notice that the words start to dance a little bit. And as the words are dancing a little bit, the sound starts to fade in the tavern. And you're noticing that this letter also starts glowing this swirling blue and green, soft pulsating light. And as you read further and further down this letter, you get to the signature, "Thank you ever so much again for your help, Bianca Beltane." And when you get to that name, there's a sudden flash of light that comes from the letter, and then everything goes black.
Oh boy.
And you feel yourself floating. And as you're floating in this darkness, you know your body's there, but you're not quite sure where you are. And suddenly you can feel that you're on solid ground again, except it's still dark. You can hear in the distance the sound of birds, the sound of crickets,
You can smell a very rich, earthy smell. You can tell you're in some sort of a forest or near a forest or something like that. And as you slowly blink your eyes, it starts coming to light that you're in this very new place. You probably haven't been here before because as you're looking at these trees, they aren't the type of trees that you're used to seeing. There are things dangling from these trees. It almost looks like really thick cobwebs is the best way to describe it. And then you notice there are these tracks on a dirt road with a tunnel of trees, but these tracks are extremely unusual. Not the type of any tracks you've ever seen a cart make where you're from. And all three of you are standing there, basically about the same way you were situated at the bar table. But this time, you have your notes in hands, and here you are. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna pull out my quarterstaff right now, just in case things get crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. All right, that we didn't have reason to believe that would be some teleportation letter. You know, I thought we'd walk over there later tonight. So I'm definitely wondering what you guys are thinking about the situation, because it seems like it's gonna get crazy.
Yeah, I'm kind of cursing under my breath about why I generally don't trust people. And I take my rapier into my hand and I start taking a closer look at my surroundings.
Okay. So give me an investigation check if you're weapon in hand and really looking.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. So Marple, like you said before, she's not too thrilled that she's been somehow duped. And as you're looking around, you're sort of at this T intersection. And at this T intersection, there is a signpost. And it has these signs pointing in different directions. There's one that's pointing to Julie Junction. There's one that's pointing to Loamy Lane. And then there's this one that's pointing to something that just simply says BB's on it.
Okay. Is there anything still written on our notes, or is it blank, or?
You can, yeah, go ahead. Everyone can take a look at their notes again if you want to.
Yeah.
And let's do a perception check on those.
No, I'd rather not look again. The letters dance around enough as it is, and these ones seem to dance on their own. I don't want to look again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep mine hidden away too.
Okay.
I figure I'm already here, so I want to know what's going on.
All right, so you take a look at that letter, and the letter is still glowing, and right now it just says, "Welcome, Marple."
Well, isn't that nice? All right. Well, any suggestions? We've got a choice, or we just stand here and do nothing.
What was her first name? I know last name was Beltang, right? So what was her first name?
Bianca.
Oh, so that's BB. I say we just go to her house.
Yeah. It's a heck of an invite.
I mean, it went from daylight to nighttime as well. That's pretty freaky, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering what happened. Were we just teleported to a totally different spot, or were we under for a couple hours? You know what I mean? Like, did it take us a while to get here?
Either we were out for a while, or we've gone a very long way.
Well,
All right, as you're all talking with each other, I want you all to give me a survival check.
oh boy.
Well, I'm okay with survival, I like to think. I am not okay with survival, not at all.
Well, this could get interesting real fast. All right, so
My gut told me to use my advantage as well. It did, and I was like, no, don't be silly.
Marple and Nazar, you're standing there and you're talking, and suddenly you hear this odd sound coming down the one side of the crossroad area, and it's very mechanical, and it sounds like it's getting closer and closer to you. And now poor Bert is also standing there, and I think he's still a little thrown from the dancing words and everything like that. But then suddenly, as you look down towards the western side of this road, you see this billowing smoke, or not smoke, but it's dust kicking up the road. And there is this odd horseless carriage, for lack of a better description, barreling toward you. And as it's getting closer to you, because you're standing in the middle of this crossroad, you hear honk, 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 honk. and it keeps coming towards you, and it is getting very close. You all need to give me an athletics check now. Bert, however, you have your back to this.
And when the honk honk starts, Bert will probably turn around, but he's too fascinated by the ironwork to dive out of the way.
Okay. So we have Marple and we have Nazar, who basically, because they're seeing this coming, you sort of like dance over to the one side of the road and get out of the way. Bert, the driver, is doing their best to stop. And they start screaming at you, "What do you think you're doing?" And you see this strange contraption suddenly veered out of the way of Bert just in time, except Bert's getting a whole bunch of dust and such thrown into his face. So at this point, Bert, you're slightly blinded for the next round, simply because of all the dust that got kicked into your face. And this thing keeps going down the road, and it's still honking and it's still blaring, and you see an interesting hand stick out the window, and you're noticing one of the fingers is raised up, but you have no idea what that signal might mean. And they continue off into the distance.
I mean, as it goes by, I don't suppose there's any chance Bert could try and, like, grab it like you would a horse bridle to stop it? Because he wants to inspect it.
Let's do a strength save on that one if you're going to do that.
Bert, do it.
Okay, so that's how Roll20's going to be today. Got it.
Yeah. You're lucky I know how Roll20 likes to work with you. Because you rolled a 10, you manage to touch the side of the car, but you don't really get a hold of it. So it's enough where the driver is mad that you dare to touch their car.
Oh, no.
And they still just keep speeding off. You're kind of left there more with this, dust in the eye, you're coughing, you're choking, and now your hand has a slight abrasion on it, but it's not going to stop you from doing anything.
Are you okay?
Am I okay? Did you see that thing? I mean, the ironwork was very simple, all like plates, but no intricate designs. But it was like a cart moving without a horse. We have to follow it this way.
It's already gone, and it's going towards Jewelweed Junction.
JJ's. That's how this place works, right? Bianca, Beltane, BB, Joey's Junction, JJ.
Yeah, alliteration seems really big here. But which way do you want to go? We have an invitation for BBs.
Wait, Bert, did you happen to see the hand that came out? Did you happen to see what race it was? Was it human or orc, or could you tell?
I'm not sure, but it was some sort of interesting greeting. Hello.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Marple won't tell him.
I say we head to BB's. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So as long as you're all ready to go, Bert, at this point, the dust is cleared enough. You've been rubbing your eyes where, yes, you can start walking down the path that the one sign is pointing to. And you're noticing it's a long dirt road with a tunnel of trees over it. And as you're walking through it, the sunlight is dappling through. You can hear the call of birds in their nests as they're coming in. And yes, the light is getting dimmer. It is definitely getting closer towards the evening hours. And as you're walking up closer and closer towards where the tunnel starts getting thicker and thicker, you start hearing little bits of music coming your way, but it's not exactly the type of music that you're used to hearing. You also get these sudden wafts of food, and it's food that just smells absolutely wonderful. There's hints of garlic, there's hints of spices. And as you start getting through that tunnel, it opens up a little bit into this clearing. And you see this old house. Now, it's a different design from the homes you're used to seeing. It's not anything that you've ever come across for either. And it's a 3-story home. It has a rather large porch in the front. There's this old birch tree that one would think was almost planted too close to it, but you're kind of chalking that up where maybe it was a sapling and it just happens to have gotten very big and very old. The house itself is yellow. It has green plantation shutters. There are these bits of red trim all around it, but it's also a bit more worn looking. So it's a place that hasn't exactly been kept up, but you can tell it's a place that's been there for a long time. And as you take a closer look, you see that there is a front door, and above the front door, hanging off the porch top, it says, "Welcome to BB's."
Hmm.
So at this point, you're probably about, 20 feet away from walking up the porch to the front door.
Okay, well, it seems inviting enough, but I'm not very trusting of anything right now. Can I make sure that it's not trapped?
Sure.
Yeah, I just want to take a closer look before I approach the door.
Okay, then go ahead and check for traps if you want to.
What do you want me to roll?
Let's roll investigation for that one. Okay, it's not trapped, it's definitely locked.
I feel like one of us should go around the side of the house just in case something happens at the door. They can kind of help prevent against an ambush.
Okay. So who wants to go around to the side of the house and split the party?
Oh.
When you say it like that.
Like a couple times where, like,
What was that?
how far is it to like the side of the house?
It's probably the house itself across the front ways. You're looking at maybe about 75 feet total from side to side.
I'll go like 10 feet to the left, just not around the corner, but just far enough so if there's some type of attack, I can counter from the side.
Okay, do you have like a weapon drawn or anything, or you're just sort of walking
Yeah,
around?
I still have my quarterstaff out. So I'm thinking using a blunt weapon like that would be best, just in case there's a misunderstanding or something. But
Okay.
yeah, I feel like that's good. If you guys are cool with that. Otherwise, I can be the guy who goes to the door and somebody else can do that. I'm cool with either.
Okay. Do either of you want to like flank around either side or anything like that?
I mean, I'm quite happy to just knock on the door at this point. I mean,
Yeah. I think let's just knock.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Okay. So who wants? I was gonna say who's gonna be knocking on that door?
Oh, I'll do it. I'm cranky.
Okay.
I didn't trust her. I don't know what's going on. I'm surly. Knocking on the door.
All right, so as you knock on the door, this panel opens up and you see this yellow light pouring through the panel, and then you see these orangey, intense brown eyes peering through with a thick brow on the top. And at first it looks out and it's looking up, and then it looks down towards you. Password doll. You gotta give me a password. No password, no entrance. And the door, little window door, slides closed.
All right.
Maybe we could put one of the letters in there, show that we were invited by BB. Teleport that guy to the crossroads and go in.
If you want to give it a try, go for it.
What are we thinking, fam?
I think we can try a password first and then try the magic. But I like it.
hey, quite often we just used to use family members' names as passwords. Maybe that's it. I had this friend called Qwerty. We used to use him as a password quite often.
All right,
Maybe it's just
while you're all
Bianca.
debating this, I want you to give me a perception check.
Oh boy. Hello, roll 20. Hello.
Okay, so Bert, you're still kind of in your own world. Maybe it's a little bit of that dust coming out. You're not noticing too much. For Marple and for Nazar, you kind of notice that this birch tree is sort of rustling a little bit, but there's not exactly a breeze going on. It could just be that some sort of squirrel has been running across the top, though. But that's what you notice. So, what would you like to do at this point? You want to try and give a password, or?
What was the last thing we noticed?
The birch tree was kind of moving around a little bit. It could have been something where a squirrel was running along it, but that's really the only thing remarkably noticeably different that has happened at this point. You don't see anyone else coming or going. There's no further activity from behind the door. You still hear the music, you still smell the food, and you still hear just general merriment happening behind the walls of the establishment.
And we have hit 10 retweets, V.
Oh, have we now? Okay, so what I will do is we're going to do this where I'm going to roll a number. Let's see here. We'll have Nazar as 1, Marple as 2, and Bert as 3 to see who's going to be getting the magic item. And that is going to go to Marple. So Marple, if you could roll me a D100% type of situation for me, please.
Okay, how do I do that?
If you go up to roll 20 on the left-hand side, you see an icon of a D20.
Yes.
Click on that, and you could select a D100 from there. Or what you can also do is type in its /R. Is it R//Scrap?
/R or /R.
Great. So I think it's /R space then D100, and then hit enter in the chat section where you've been seeing your rolls pop up.
Okay, say that again very slowly, okay? Because I'm dumb when I hear your
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, it's definitely
what?
/R. /R.
Okay. Let's see. Do. You may see me drinking coffee, but I am not.
Don't worry
really
about
coffee. Okay.
And then, like, what I put there would have rolled me a 1D20. If you put in 1D100 instead, it will roll you a 1D100.
Okay.
So, /.
It's the
forward
other slash.
See, I told you I haven't had enough coffee.
Don't worry. Hey, we were
That's
sitting here
okay.
like, how do you do it again?
Yeah, right? What did I do wrong? Is there no space?
So have the slash
everything's-
go in the other direction.
Exactly right.
So
On a UK keyboard, it'd be the exact opposite side of the keyboard. There we go.
type in
There you go.
like that. Okay. So if you want, we can use that for you if you're good with that.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right. So
I don't want to slow
I'm
things
making-
down.
I'm making note of that for Marple for the near future then. All right. So you are standing on the porch. You have your letters. You have a password in need.
You know, I am sure this is not Marple's first time in a joint like this, and we've got invitations. We've been invited to come here, so I feel like she's gonna just try it again, knock on the door.
Okay. So the panel will slide open,
She's
and you
gonna
see the same blue eyes.
hold up the letter and say, in Thieves' Cant, you know, BB sent us.
You're gonna have to do a persuasion check on that one if you're holding the letter up and you're speaking in Thieves' Camp.
Okay, persuasion.
Okay, you can see the eyes kind of like the brow furrows down. Not quite sure what you mean, but and his hand will stick through, and he takes a piece of paper. Let me see what this is about. And so the paper goes through the little window, and you hear the paper opening, and then you hear him laughing. That, I tell you, that woman. Yeah, you know what? Probably better you handed this to me. And he hands it back to you, and it's opened up. And if you were to look down at your letter, instead of where it said "Welcome, Traveler," it says "You have pretty eyes." And the door, you hear the lock turning, and you see the door swing open, and it's definitely a very heavy door. And as it opens, there's some soft, warm light that starts to pour through, and you hear the voice behind the door saying, come on in, we've been expecting you."
Is that all of us? Can I come in too?
Yeah, what about
Yeah.
me, man?
Yeah,
Alright.
come on in. I was told to expect a group of 3 this time, so come in, no problem.
Oh, thank you. Would you like to take my note too? Honestly, it's very confusing. The letters keep moving.
Are you inside the room yet, or are you still outside?
Yeah.
You're still outside? So you see this figure come from around the door, and it is this very tall, hulking figure. He's got very broad shoulders, and he's wearing this interesting outfit, which kind of reminds you of things that maybe like the nobility have worn. It's got this longer coat, and there are these stripes of white that run down it over a darker blue. And then there's sort of like this doublet, but it's more V-neck mode, and basically it's same color navy as the outer coat, but it doesn't have the striping on it. The pants, however, have the striping as well. And then tied around his neck is this very intricately tied neck tie type of thing. But again, you've never seen something quite like it before. And he's got this jutting out lower jaw, and the 2 bottom canines are maybe just a little bit longer and sharper than the rest. And he's just got this thick furrowed brow, and he's just kind of looking down at you guys like, well, yeah, if you want to show me your papers, that's totally fine. Let's see them. And he'll put his big meaty hand out.
I just don't want to have it anymore. The words move.
And so he takes, yeah, you're one of the 3. Actually, you're going to want to hang on with it. Just stick it in one of your back pockets. No one says you have to keep reading it. And I'm guessing you had one too, sir?
I see the bottom teeth, and I think he could be part orc, so I want to try and talk to him in orc.
Okay.
And I just want to say, do you trust BB?
And he's going to reply to you in orc back with my life.
All right. Yeah, I'll be like, here, take the
And
letter.
he's actually going to stick his hand out and like, I haven't seen one of my kind. And it's like a big, strong, firm handshake.
I'll return it. We'll also do another elaborate handshake as well.
Yeah, and he's totally like there's like his smile like is ear to ear now, and you can tell he's kind of, yeah, okay, she's picked a good one this time. Excellent. All right, yeah, come on in. And like his whole demeanor's changing because he's got one of his bros on the doorstep. So he's waving the 3 of you in, and he closes the door behind you, and you notice he makes the effort of making sure everything's locked up and everything like that. All right. So you're the 3 that Baby told me to expect. She'll be with you guys momentarily. She just had to get a couple things ready. All you need to do is just go right through that door. My lovely wife, Evie, will be taking care of you momentarily. So just look for the little blonde in the pretty pink dress. At least I think she wore the pink dress today. Oh, she was asking me about that. Maybe it's the powder blue. I don't know. It was one of those things. I was walking out the door and she just couldn't seem to make up her mind. And she always comes an hour after I do. So either a pink dress or a blue dress. But she's just this cute little blonde thing. You won't miss her. She'll probably find you before you find her. And he opens up this door that actually looks like it was almost hidden in the paneling. And as that door opens, the music gets louder. The fragrances of the food get louder. Now you hear laughing, and now you hear people chattering with each other as, if you want to, you walk through this door.
I'm gonna walk past him, but as we're going, I'm just be like, what was your name? I'm Nazar, in orc again.
Oh, forgive me, where are my manners? I am Sebastian Soapwort. And then he starts flipping back into common. Sebastian Soapwort, I am basically the first line of defense here at BB's, but basically it's my job to sit here and let people come and go, but only if allowed, if you get what I mean.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right, great. So you walk into what's basically sort of a waiting area, and you see this desk. It's basically right in front of you. And behind the desk, you can tell there's sort of like a maybe extra room or a closet going on. And sure enough, there is a little blonde standing behind this desk, and she's furiously writing with this plumed pencil or pen. And you just see the feather dancing furiously across the top of the desk. And she's muttering to herself a little bit, and she's wearing this pretty little lavender dress.
Okay.
She doesn't see you come in because she's so absorbed with like taking notes or whatever.
Hello.
Excuse. We're looking for a blonde in a blue or pink dress.
Oh, hello. Did you just get here?
And she's going to put the pen down, and she's going to walk around the desk and stand in front of the 3 of you.
Yes.
Let me guess. You're the ones that Baby told us to expect. She's just sent a message a little ways ahead of time, and she said to expect someone named Marple, someone named Nazar, and someone named Bert.
Bert, hello.
Marple.
I'm
Oh,
Nazar.
that's all 3. Oh, that's perfect. Wonderful. It's so great to have you here. Welcome. Now, Baby told me that she said she'd make sure that she was going to have dinner ready for you guys as well as drinks. And then did she mention also room and board as well? Or was that yet to be discussed with her? She did mention you'd be staying for the night.
I don't think she got that far.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it could have been implied. I don't know though.
Oh, well, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Well, if you want, before I give you rooms, I just need to make sure that was something that she wanted to do. Chances are it's yes, but lately we've had to kind of lock down on things just because of some incidences that have been happening recently. If there's anything you'd like to keep here behind the reception desk that you don't want to haul around with you, I'd be happy to put it in our coat check room. And then she starts looking at you all. She goes, and I also have some other things if you want to try and blend in a little bit more in our lost and found. But again, that's completely your prerogative.
Blend in. You don't have any blacksmiths back there?
Um,
Full blacksmith garb, you know, the leather apron and everything.
I'm getting the sense that she didn't exactly pull you guys from around here, did she?
And she's gonna like point at one of the waiters as they're walking by, and you notice he too is not wearing exactly what you'd expect to see. It's these very tailored long pants, and they have this strip of white going down the side, and dark black shirt tucked into it, and this very streamlined, polished looking. It's a tie, but you know, it's a little bit different than the ones you've been seeing before. And you know, they're holding things up, and they have like these things that looks like they're going over their shoulders and back around the pants to kind of keep them held up. And as you're looking around more, you see that there is this lounge almost right to the front where there's this double staircase coming down on either side. And you can see that the ladies are sitting there in what almost like look like nightgowns to you, except they're sparkly. And the guys are wearing these interesting suits. Some of them have the striping like what you saw in Sebastian. Some of them have more of this textured pattern and like these patches on their elbows. So you can tell this isn't the area from whence you've come based upon what everyone's wearing.
I mean, I think we're here to do a job, so...
Yeah, and usually those jobs, like, it's supposed to be a little bit more of like a covert mission. So if you want, I'd be more than happy to make sure that once you walk into the main room, you won't be alerting anyone to the fact that you may not be from here.
Covered in what? What are the missions covered in?
Well, covert as in you want to be secretive. You don't want to be obvious. Last time a group came in here, they were hired to kind of help us find some undesirables who had been trying to get in here, and they were actually quite effective. They were like super good. In fact, she's hired them on, and they're off right now doing a little bit more of that job that they said they do for her. I got to tell you, they were great and they were lovely. Not saying that you folk aren't lovely yourselves. I'm sure you're just absolutely wonderful. I just can't speak from personal experience because I don't quite know you yet. But like I said, I can arrange it so, you know, well, ma'am, if you want to get something a little bit more kind of like what I have on, if you want, or I can do something a little bit more like that lady over there. And she points to this gorgeous tall woman who's wearing this very soft rose-colored full-length sequence gown with red hair tied up and tucked around her ears. So it almost looks like she has a short haircut, but it isn't short.
Well, if we have to blend in, we have to blend in. I guess.
I'm down to blend in as well. I kind of want to check the lost and found, see if there's any useful items in there.
Sure, we can absolutely do that. I mean, this is stuff that's just basically been left behind by some of our patrons who forget they had it or just don't care about it anymore. It's actually a pretty cool selection. It's my little pride and joy. I've been working on pulling it together. What about you, Bert? And I got to tell you, hon, we might want to work on a nickname for you, sweetheart.
A nickname?
Well, yeah, because you see, well, all right, I'm not one to gossip, but last time we had a Bert in here, let's just say that my honey had to carry him upstairs from some unsavory behavior. So Bert's sort of mud around here in terms of a name.
Okay, well, my full name is Bertanovich Nikolai Engstrom Havanovich Sternbach.
Your mother gave you that name?
Well, no, my mother gave me the first two, the third comes from my father, and the fourth from my grandfather.
Honey, your family sounds bigger than mine. Can I call you like Nick or something like that?
I mean, I guess you could call me Nick. Or we could just shorten it down, like people use their alliteration here, right? Like BB instead of Bianca Beltran. I could just be BS.
I like it.
I like it too.
All right, well, okay, BS. BS it'll be.
And she chuckles a little bit. You don't know why she's chuckling, but she's chuckling. All right, well, I'll tell you what, why don't the three of you follow in here? And she opens up the door.
All right.
And it looks like a normal coat check. Like you can see that there's people's coats and stuff. But again, these coats look a little bit less cape and cloak like, get a little bit more like almost like an overcoat type of situation. And then she pulls across this red velvet curtain, and as it opens up, it's almost like there's a store inside the cloak check. All right, so you all came with your own, and she's closing the door behind her. You came with your own weapons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. You can keep those. We want to make sure you're using stuff that's familiar to you. We're certainly not going to say you have to use anything else different, but I am just going to try and get some little outfits pulled together for you. So if each of you roll a d20 for me, you'll find out what you're getting for your clothes. Just a straight up d20.
So all of us, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over the music.
Yep, everyone.
Just a D20?
Just a d20.
And also, it looks as though Kentucky Hawkeye has donated me a reroll.
Woohoo! Thank you. And then, Scrat, if we can just get the d20 from you,
Of course.
we will be good to go. And all right, so for Marple, you get just this very basic, pretty green dress. It is sleeveless, but you notice most of the women seem to have these sleeveless dresses on. And the waist is a little bit lower. It drops down to about the hips. And as Evie's looking, she goes, oh, this might be just a tad bit too long. Just give me one quick little second. And she turns around, and then as she turns back around, suddenly it looks like it's going to fit you perfectly.
Oh.
So why don't you take this, and then you can get changed in here. And she pushes a panel, and this door sort of swings open from the wood paneling that was in the other part of the coat check area. And there's this little changing room, so you can get changed in there. Now, the dress is basically equivalent to the armor you already have, so you don't have to worry about changing or adjusting that.
Okay.
And let's see, for the gentleman, oh, you kind of remind me of my honey pie. You said hello, right?
Yeah, Sebastian, he's my boy now.
Oh, that's good. You know what? That's going to be good for him. He hasn't been able to hang out with his type in quite a while. I have a feeling the two of you are really good friends. So
Cool.
tell you what, why don't I get you?
And you hear her muttering, and she pulls out a pair of just basic pants, and they're sort of like a light brown color. All right, well, you're gonna want to put these on, and then let me take this down. And she pulls out just a simple blue button-down shirt, and then finally she pulls off this dark tweed blazer, and it has these lighter brown patches on the elbows and this kind of nifty looking blue and yellow polka dot tie.
All right, this should be good for you, honey, if you want to get changed once Marple's done. And then we have you, BS. Oh,
Something
Alright.
nice and sturdy, you know. I like to work the forge and things. You need something that will stand up to resilience. Don't need to worry
Oh.
about padding, though. I'm quite thick-skinned.
okay, so maybe something dungaree-ish. Just give me a quick little.
And she's gonna go down into the bottom, and she's kneeling down on the floor, and she's rifling through this box, and you can tell this is probably the box of like very random things. And she's going through it, and she's going through it, and then she pulls out this pair of like dark blue, very heavy fabric pants, and she's gonna turn to.
All right, well let's start with these. That should be something.
Oh yes, this is very strong. I like this.
Yeah. Okay. Oh well, geez, let me see here. Oh well, maybe this.
And she's gonna pull out something that looks similar to what Nazar got, but it's made out of almost like a very thick wool felt, and it's got sort of like a bigger collar around it, and it buttons in the front. It's basically like a thick cardigan that she hands to you, and it's bright green. And oh, you're gonna need a shirt. And as she's rifling through, she finds a shirt, and she hands you a shirt that is essentially a yellow and green plaid shirt.
All right,
I
so
like
then that'll
this, thank
be
you.
yours. That should be. Is that thick enough for you? Would
Yeah,
that,
I think so, yes. This is flannel. I recognize this material, although it does go up in flames very quickly, let me tell you. One time I'm working the forge, I get a spark on some flannel, and woof! It goes very quick. That's a real-life Scrat story.
If it's any consolation, we've kind of come up with a nice little method that keeps it from catching on fire so quickly. I can say from experience. So it should do you right good if you want.
And then you notice she's looking down, and she gives a little squeal of surprise. She's,
Oh, I forgot I found this earlier this morning. Oh, honey, come here. You're gonna want this.
and she pulls out this pretty string of pearls, Marple. And it's sort of a double strand, and it's not quite the classic white pearl color. It has like this pinkish tone to them as well. And as she hands them over, she goes, "You're going to want to make sure you put these on right away because they're like right special." And like I said, you know, this is left over from one of our patrons, and she's an absolute darling, but she said she's going to be gone for months on end, not to expect her back for a while. So she's got enough of her own. She's probably not going to be asking for them when she gets back. And essentially what you've gotten is an amulet of persuasion.
Ooh.
So what's going to work here is that you're going to have the ability once for this game on a persuasion check to roll with advantage.
Oh.
Okay. So that's your lovely little item that you just got for our 10 retweets. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Also, V, whilst we are here at the Lost and Found, we've just hit our follower goal as well. And thank you very much to Mad Rogue who donates so that everyone, apart from me, gets a reroll.
Hey, very cool. So we're going to do another magic item then? Is that it, Scrap?
Yes, that's it. Yep.
Okay. So then we'll do the same thing, same numbers. So we have Nazar 1, Marple 2, BS. You're 3. And it's going to go to BS.
Nice.
Hey.
All right. So as she's... I had to go with it. It's too funny. So then as she's going to push that drawer back in, she is going to, if you do your D100 roll there, BS.
You're enjoying that far too much.
I am absolutely loving this.
It's fun.
It is.
All the sevens, lucky 77.
All right, so she's going to, oh yeah, this is a good one. Hey, you, BS, come here. Look, I got something that'll spiffy that outfit a little bit more for you. And she's holding up this ring, and on the ring it has just this squared sapphire stone, and it's set in what looks like some very strong and sturdy silver. It's a little bit thicker. You can tell it's a men's ring. She goes, "Here, why don't you put this on, and this will kind of give you a touch of like the Southern gent look. They like to wear it on their pinkies, usually their right hands, if you want, and that should be of some service for you this evening as well." And you just got a ring of invisibility, which means you have the ability to go invisible one time for this game while you're either in combat. You can stay invisible until you take an active attack, or you will be invisible for a minute, whichever comes first, depending on when you use it.
Why, thank you.
You're very welcome.
And Bert will be taking the ring and be like, "Oh, this is very fine craftsmanship. You can see what they have really. They must have. Well, they didn't grind this afterwards. This must be straight cast, yes?"
Sure. I'm not exactly an aficionado. Oh, I just learned that one the other day. I'm not an aficionado of jewelry, but outside the fact it's pretty. But I mean, if you're all set and ready to go, and let's assume at this time you've had your chance to get dressed up, you're all looking very sharp, you're looking the part.
Can Bert put his leather apron on over the top?
Even better.
I think we can explain the apron. I'm not going to worry about that. But okay, great. Let's go out here, and I think Bianca's going to be ready for you really soon.
Before we head out, can I just like look around and say, wow, there's a lot of really cool stuff in here, and try and use my charisma to see if she's got anything that could help me in battle?
Sure, if you want to. Give me a performance check on that one.
Performance? Okay.
Yeah. Darling, you're cute, but I know how your type works. Come on. And she'll escort you out of the coat check room.
Touche.
She's married to one, so hey. So as you walk out the door, you're now in basically the main area of BB's place. To your left, there is this gorgeous bar, and it runs the whole length of the left wall, the very far wall of the area. And you're also noticing as you're looking there, that wall seems a lot further than what it should have been based off what you saw in the house outside. And it's got this gorgeous dark wood paneling. There are glasses hanging from those lovely things that hang above. And you see this tall elven woman just wiping down the bar. She's got this very short bob blonde haircut. She's wearing an outfit actually very similar to what you saw Evie point out that one of the waiters was wearing, except her tie is a very bright crimson red. And she's wiping down the bar. She looks up and she kind of gives all three of you a nod like, "Hey, how you doing?" goes back to wiping down the bar. And as she's doing that, you can see she's actually looking down, but the eyes are up and they're scanning around. She's kind of keeping an eye on things. Then if you look to the right-hand side of where you are standing, you're going to see like this dance floor area. And there is a small stage. And on top of that stage, you see this gorgeous red piano with gold etchings and this very dashing, dapper looking gentleman sitting there playing and just enjoying himself. He's got a big smile on his face. There are people resting in couches alongside of the edge of the dance floor. There are people dancing on the dance floor. There's just this almost like festive, like party atmosphere going on right now. And you're basically standing in the open lounge area where, again, there are recliners, there are different types of couches and chairs, and there's also this very lovely fireplace tucked towards the back underneath the large staircase that, again, it's a double staircase. So there's a balcony up top that's at the second floor. There's wrought iron railings that come down the staircase. And there are these red runners that come down both sides of the stairs. And as you're taking this all in, I'd like you all to give me a perception check. Okay. So Nazar, you basically, I think because of your bond with Sebastian, you're really starting to take this like, okay, this is a place I need to scope out and kind of keep tabs on things. You are taking in every little detail. Whereas Marple, I think you're still kind of getting used to this whole, where am I and why is this place a little different? So you're noticing some couples, you're noticing some people moving around, but you're not really taking everything in. And then I'm
distracted by being in a dress, frankly.
There you go. There you go. So you're in this dress, and then you're getting used to how it's feeling. And then we have BS, who I think chances are you're probably more still fascinated by the pink earring that you've just gotten and looking at its workmanship and trying to determine who made it, how it was made, and everything like that still. But then Nazar, as you're looking and you've kind of done your scope around the first floor, you start looking up the staircase. And you're looking at the staircase that you're basically standing in front of. So this is a staircase towards the left-hand side of where you're facing. And you see a woman at the top of the stairs. And she is very tall, very elegant. She has this dark hair that, again, kind of like Evie's hair, it looks like it's this shorter hairstyle, but you can tell that the long hair has been pinned up and under. And she's wearing this gorgeous emerald green dress with streaks of black that run down the front. And it's very glittery and very sparkly. There's some sort of feathers on it as well, because as she's coming down the staircase towards you, you notice that her dress is sort of swishing softly with the movements of her steps. And she's looking at all three of you as if she's known you for a while. And she has a big smile on her face. So she gets to the bottom of the stairs and basically looks at each one of you. Well, I see that invitation has worked quite nicely as usual. How are you all doing after your arrival?
Yeah, that was some crazy teleportation you used on us.
Yeah.
Nice
to meet you.
Yes, we have met before. I just tend to like to go a little bit more incognito when I'm traveling to different areas. But the story is still the same, just slightly adjusted. And allow me to properly introduce myself. I am Bianca Beltane. You can call me BB for short. You can call me Ms. Beltane, whichever you're most comfortable with. And this is my establishment. And like I said, we've been having issues with something causing some trouble around the place. And yes, the chickens have been gone missing at night. And we have been having issues with undesirable creatures doing God knows what that we can't seem to quite catch. If you'd like, we can go in to sit down over by the bar and we can make sure that you can sit down and have a nice dinner while I catch you up and get you ready for what it is I need your help with this evening.
Yeah, please.
Let's do it.
And you, Mr. Barrett, would you like to come along with us?
Yes, Batonovich, Nikolai Enstrom, Habanovich, Sternbach, but you can call me BS for short. I understand Bert is in bad form at the moment.
You're going to see her eyebrows sort of shoot up quickly in shock when you say BS. And she's kind of going to look over her your shoulder towards Evie, and Evie's just kind of like...
That's the thing you do here, right? Like BB, JJ, BS.
Yeah. We tend to like to shorten things a little bit to just the initial factors. So if you're fine with BS, we can stick with BS by all means. And I'll explain the whole Bert factor if you want to follow me. And she's just going to start walking off. And as she's walking off, you notice that the other patrons in this place, they're raising their glasses, they're saying hi to her, and she's like doing like those little waves and everything like that. You also notice that the barkeep, she sees you three coming after her, and she's already moving over to this table that's set in the far back. It's just this nice little private corner table booth area. And BB's already sitting down, and on that table, you see this family style setting with this great looking food. It's the food that, you know, smells just like what you've been smelling from outside and since you've been in here. And there's plates already set there. And the bartender is just standing there waiting with a notepad. And BB motions for all three of you to sit down.
I do.
Okay.
I'll sit.
All right. So the bartender, she's going to stop. She goes, is there anything that you would particularly care to have alongside your meal this evening? I'll make sure I can get it ready for you. We have some very fine ales. We have checked to make sure that they're very fine ales. I do highly recommend our wines. We have a very nice red that's very mellow, very easy on the palate. We did just open up a beautiful cask of sort of a lighter white wine. It's a little bit sweeter, a little more fruity, if you want to go that way. We are also known for our mixed drinks. If there's any type of thing, maybe a sidecar, maybe a cosmopolitan, maybe just a simple Manhattan, whatever sounds good to you.
Cosmopolitan, Manhattan, what are these things?
Well, oh, that's right. And she's going to look at BB, and BB's just kind of like, you know, shrugging her shoulders like, hey, you know, it is what it is. You want it from around here. How about in this case, we stick with the wine, the ale, and I think I might have some meat too.
I'll look to Nazar and be like, Nazar, do you recognize these things they are talking about?
I'm not sure, man. I think I don't know. I'm just gonna get some ale, I guess.
Okay, well, I think we should try the local cuisine. I'll have one ale, one mead, and one of each of the other things with strange names.
She's just gonna smile and write. All right. You, madam?
A wine would be good.
Do you prefer the red, or do you think you want to go with our white?
Red.
A red. I personally am a fan of the red as well. So she'll write down the red. She's got a smile on her face. And finally, you, sir, what sounds good to you? And she's looking at you, Nazar.
Oh, as far as food?
Drink.
Drink. Oh, I'll stick with the ale. I'll go with some ale to start.
All right. Sounds good. I will be back momentarily with your drinks, and I will leave it to you. And not to worry, madam. The staff knows to make sure that you have the utmost privacy from here on in until you are ready. And she's going to walk away and start getting your drink orders ready, especially thanks to what BS has placed. And BB waits for her to walk away a little bit and kind of scans the room. All right, now that I have your attention and now that we are alone, let me catch up with what's going on here. I have an establishment, and this establishment has been here for quite a while. However, we have fallen under the scrutiny of two types. We have our local authorities, what you would call the city guard. We call the police. They have decided that they don't exactly like the fact that we serve alcoholic beverages here. You see, where we are right now, they're in something called prohibition, and they aren't exactly keen on the more spirity type of drinks. However, that's not exactly my greatest concern. It's just more a matter of making sure that the cops do not get inside and raid the place more than anything else. On the other hand, and this is where the whole Bert issue does come into play, there is an individual who goes by the name Bubba, who has decided that he himself initially wanted to try and offer me a means of protecting the place from the officials, now wants it for himself. And my largest fear is the fact that he really wants this establishment more for the people who come inside here than what is served. He's one of these individuals who likes to collect things, unique things, interesting people from different places. And I'm at the point where there is no way in hell he is getting a hand on another patron, because unfortunately we have lost a few along the way. However, recently, thank you to another group of rather brave individuals, we have his second in command in our custody. And he's been giving us some interesting information, and with that information, this particular group, they are often helping me do their best trying to find Bubba and see if we can get Bubba under control. During our questioning of the young satyr named Bert, he's revealed to us that unbeknownst to us that certain things have been deposited in various areas of my place And we've been having this issue of random little problematic creatures showing up. The problem is these creatures have been sent here by Bubba because they too are trying to get information, or at least just make things extremely difficult, if not very obvious, that we are here. So I am going to need to leave the place for a little bit and speak with my circle of friends, if you will, because we are trying to do our best to see what we can do on our end to keep Bubba away. But that being so, I don't want to leave this place unprotected. I do have Mickey over there, and she nods to the bartender. And I also have Sebastian. Both of them are quite capable and quite able-bodied, but this is a job that two people who are expected to perform certain roles each evening cannot do and protect the place perfectly all the time.
Right.
So your job here tonight is just to make sure that, well, BS doesn't hit the fan.
Got it. Okay. Could do
So
that.
what a fan.
Well, my dear, to be perfectly frank, your initials stand for a colorful turn of phrase here, which spelled out is bullshit.
Oh. Sort of like nug shit, I suppose. Okay. Well, we could use my full initial title. B-Nails.
B-Nails?
B-N-E-H-S. I don't know how you would pronounce it. Bananas.
Banals. All right, Banals. Let's work with that because I have a feeling if we're calling you Bert and there's another Bert in the establishment who it's going to confuse things a little bit. Now, my wait staff, my housemaids, they all know what's going on. They will be of any help they possibly can be to you, along with Mickey and Sebastian, and you've met darling little Evie. You have Eduardo over there, and she points to the piano player. He is also one of my trusted employees. And then in the back kitchen, you have Calamus, Rufus, and Douglas. But they pretty much stay back there, do the cooking. So if you don't mind, I am rather pressed for time. I do need to get going. Basically, just keep your eye out for anything of the very bizarre and very unusual. I know this is a new establishment for you, but if you look around right now, this is our normal. People are happy. People are having fun. People are eating and dancing. When that isn't happening, or something is stopping that from happening, that's out of the norm. Savvy?
Savvy.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy the rest of your meal. As I said before, I really do need to be going. And she looks at this watch that's around her wrist. Again, thank you very much for agreeing to do this for me. And forgive me for my unusual means of bringing you here. But quite frankly, there's really no other way to do it. So just keep those letters safe with you. They will be a means of getting back home, I promise you. And for your efforts this evening, provided everything goes well, you'll each be leaving here after a night's stay with 200 gold pieces, if that is to your liking.
That's always to my liking. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yes, good.
Great. And you, Banals?
I'm okay. Drinks, food, I'll be fine.
All right. Well, I will be back hopefully before sunrise. But until then, I'll leave my establishment in your capable hands. And she's going to stand up. She's going to smooth her dress out. And she's going to turn her back and start walking away. And as she's walking away, she's suddenly gone in this silvery black mist of swirling motion. And it dissipates. No one else is really fazed by this. This must be something she does often. But the place is essentially yours. What would you like to do?
I want to look around and get a tally of all the people in there, at least just like a count, just to make sure that nobody pops up all of a sudden later on unannounced.
Sure, not a problem. Give me an investigation check for that one. Okay. So with a 14, it's a little bit tricky again because you're seeing that there are people sort of dancing around over in the dance hall area. But for the most part, you can see there is basically this almost surly looking dwarf sitting on the far corner of the bar on the opposite side of the room. And he's just kind of looking into his cup and shaking his head. So you have that gentleman. And then there is that lovely lady in the rose dress who walked by before. She too is sitting alone, but she's sitting off at one of these tables off to the side, still in the eating area. And that's basically the only people in the bar at this moment besides the waiters who are running back and forth carrying drinks out towards the dance area. Now in the dance area, you see maybe about 5 or 6 couples. Again, it's hard to tell because they're kind of dancing in and around each other. And you have the piano player. And then you'll notice that there are a few maids that are going up and down the stairs, and the maids are wearing basically just a black dress with a white apron on top. And you'd say off the top of your head, there's probably 5 to 6 of them. But again, they're just kind of running up and downstairs, making sure everything's in order, making sure things are clean. But right now, it's sort of a lightly attended evening at this point.
Okay.
All right.
I will grab some food and head over to the bar. The drinks have not arrived yet, yes, so I'll go and make the trip a little easier. I'll go and sit right in front of them.
Okay, as you're getting up to walk to the bar, you see Mickey is picking up this tray, and this tray is full of various glasses and drinks, and she sees you coming, and she immediately puts the tray back down. You want to take a seat up here, maybe?
Well, I figured that could be good. I've not seen... you know, where I'm from, people make the drinks in like a cave somewhere and then only give you the finished product. I see you playing with all these bottles, and I'm interested.
Oh, honey. Let me tell you that this is, well, let's get you started. So here's just a nice little side cup for you. And she puts this small tumbler in front of you. It's got a little bit of this, a little bit of that if you want to give it a try. You try that one, and I'll go take this over to your companions at the table. And so she carries over the red wine, and she carries over the ale to Marple and Nazar, and she puts it down in front of you two. Your friend may be a while because I don't think you realize he's ordered about 30 styles of drinks.
Oh, I know.
Not to worry. I'm giving him like the little, well, no pun intended, the little shot glass versions. But you may need to keep an eye on him. After a while, if anything, I promise I'll cut him off if he starts getting a little bit too, But do sit and enjoy. Again, just let me know if you need anything. And then she's going to walk back over to the bar.
I'm going to take my drink and start casing the area to look for anybody that might seem a little suspicious, knowing what I know now.
Okay, sure. So are you like going like very in detail here, or just kind of like doing a scan?
Just kind of an overview.
All right, give me a perception check then. All right, so you kind of notice the same thing as before. It's people dancing, having fun. A couple people just sitting in the bar, taking it easy. A new couple just walked in, and their coats are being taken by Evie, and she's hanging them up, and you can tell they must be regulars here. She's smiling and laughing, and they're smiling and they're laughing as well. And they go to sit over near where the fireplace is, and the fireplace is lit. So they sit down at this couch that's sort of catty-corner to the fireplace, and they've just gotten comfortable. And you see one of the waiters come over to them, and they have a tray in hand, and they're dipped over, and they're taking their order as well. And they go back towards the bar area and give Mickey the order. But that's pretty much the majority of things you happen, outside of maybe a couple of embers sparking from the fireplace a little bit. It seems to be just slightly smoky, but it could just be because they started the fire, the wood's wet, that type of a situation.
Okay. All right.
All right, and let's see here. So, Nazar, now that you've seen the whole place and taken everything into account, is there anything else you want to do besides working on your meal?
I kind of want to walk over to Sebastian with just grab my drink, walk over to him, and kind of ask him what he knows about these disturbances.
All right, Sebastian's in that front area room where you came in first. So it's not like he's sitting in the main area. So you're going to have to get up and you're going to have to walk over and kind of go behind the door, which means you're not going to be able to keep your eye on the rest of the place, just so you know.
Okay.
But you do have Evie, who is standing at the reception desk.
I think what I want to do is go. Hold on. Yeah, I might just go try and strike up a conversation with the surly dwarf. Just talk about battle and kind of just small talk with him a little bit.
Sure, not a problem. So you're gonna walk over to the dwarf who's staring into the ale.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I kind of just want to say, hey, what's going on, man? What brings you here tonight? I just rolled into town, wondering if there's some other good spots around here.
And he's going to look up at you, and he's got these piercing blue eyes and this rather large bulbous nose. And he's got this bright, startling red beard, and his hair is a jet black. And you notice that he too is also wearing the same garb as what everyone else is wearing. I come here every night. It's sort of my routine. Make sure the ale's doing as the ale should be doing. I provide the beer here, so it's I take my job very seriously, and I don't know if I've liked this particular brew. I was experimenting with some things, and everyone keeps complaining that it's too fruity, and I went wrong here somewhere. Would you care to give it a taste, maybe, and give me your second opinion, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. I just saw him take a sip, so I know there's probably not anything in it. Yeah, let me take a sip, and I'll give you my impression on it.
No, well, thank you. It's always good to get a new opinion, and you see him kind of like doing this snap thing, and he's almost frantic about it. And also keep in mind, he's kind of like this at the bar. So Mickey, like, as she's handing Banaz a Cosmopolitan, which is this lovely pink fruity drink in front of him, she nods her head and she comes over and she's got a towel thrown over her shoulder. Yeah, what's going on here, Alder? What can I do for you, buddy? My new friend. I'm sorry, I did not introduce myself. I'm Alder Buckthorn. Very, very nice to meet you, sir.
Hey, what's up? I'm Nazar.
Nazar here wants to try. He wants to try the nutty beer, please, if you don't mind. And Mickey rolls her eyes. Alder, how many times do I gotta tell you? It's okay if one of them isn't a hit. I'll be right back. Don't worry. I'll get you a little taste. And she walks over to the taps and she just pulls a little bit into a glass and she brings it over to Nazar and she places it in front of you. And it's this nutty brown color. It smells almost caramelly as you raise it up to your nose. And then go ahead and take a sip and give me a Constitution check.
Okay.
Not a save. So just click on Con.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
I'm gonna chug like half of it down to show him that I'm not afraid to try some new things, and I'm gonna say, yeah, you're right. It is a little fruity, but you know what? Drink's a drink, as far as I'm concerned.
It's that fruitiness that I'm not nuts about. I try not to make. I mean, they have these, and he's pointing over to Banaz. Banaz is sitting there with this lineup of different colored shot glass drinks. I try to keep it more like, true and strong and, something to be proud of. I don't want it to turn into these little concoctions down the way. I mean, the ladies seem to like these little pretty things, but it's got to be a strong, good ale. And I worry the fruitiness might be too much. But I appreciate your input on this. Thank you. Thank you very much. Everyone else has kind of rolled their eyes at me and say I'm obsessing over it, but you don't think it's that bad?
I think it's all right, and I can tell if you're this committed to your drink choices, you must be really good at your job. What is it that you do?
Well, this is practically my religion. I brew beer. It's every day I brew a beer, and I want to make sure they're lovely ales from the dark to the light, from the IPAs to all these different varieties that everyone seems to be liking around here. It's one of those things where if you can't have it out there, give them variety in here. It's something that BB's definitely been encouraging as well, because it keeps everyone happy, so to speak. So it's just, I take pride in this, and you know what it's like when you don't exactly get it right the first time.
Yeah, I understand that.
All right, well,
I understand that.
I have some ideas now. I think I know where I need to pull back a little bit. I'll just have to rebrew a whole bunch later and see if it works. It's just a shame that we have about 18 of these kegs downstairs, but that's neither here nor there. Nothing to worry about.
Well, let me tell you this. If you come up with another one that you want me to try, I'll be right over here. Came in with some buddies tonight. I'm more than happy to try it. And by the way, did you notice anything weird in here the last couple nights, or some disturbances?
Well, if you're talking about their getting burnt, that was an interesting night. None of us even knew he was a satyr. I tell you, that was an impressive disguise he had going on. None of us even knew he works for Baba. That was another one. As far as we knew, he and Eduardo just didn't like each other, because you know how those musical types can be, and competitive and everything like that. But now that he's not here, the place has calmed down a little bit. Outside of a couple little bizarre little things happening, literally little things happening, but nothing where I'd say it's really bad and we need to get ourselves out of here, if that's what you're wondering.
Gotcha. Well, if you know of anything or you hear of anything, come talk to me. Nice meeting you.
Very nice meeting you, sir. And he's going to stick his hand out to you. And he's got a pretty strong grip for someone of his stature. Thank you very much. And he's gonna go back to his ale, and it's not even that he's drinking it now. You notice he's kind of like swirling it and just looking at how the bubbles are moving and the color shifting and everything like that. And he's just muttering and muttering some more. Now, what about Marple? What do you think you'd like to do at this point?
Well, I know the effects of a good drink, but I'm kind of worried about my buddy over there with his 30 little shot glasses.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to go check on him before he gets too far into them, because I want to make sure that he stays pretty alert for whatever is about to happen, because she is pretty sure that things are going to happen.
Okay.
So I'm going to go wander over to him.
All right. And what about you?
Down and go over to him.
Sounds good. Nazar, are you going to make your way back over to where Banaz is sitting?
Yeah, absolutely. I got to see him, see how he's liking these drinks.
Okay, so tell us, Banaz, how are you doing sampling these little drinks that Mickey's been handing over to you?
Well, honestly, it's not like anything I've ever had before. I thought ale was always supposed to be like, dark and murky, and, you drink it and it's, refreshing. And here we have all these, what do you say this one's called? A Long Island iced tea? It's
Yeah, Long Island iced tea. It's got a few things in there. It packs a real punch, and it's good if you want to loosen up a little. The more timid types tend to order and have a few, and then all of a sudden life is a party.
So good for like deconstructing components, loosening things, and
I guess. So at this point, Banaz, let's do a
try this.
Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy. Okay, actually, I should be pretty good at this. And because I should be pretty good at this, I'm going to use my inspiration.
Okay.
Welcome to the academy. Please take your seats.
No.
Mother of Pearl, roll 20. What is this?
I don't think it likes you very much.
No.
I think it's probably because this is it's not the ale that you think it is, Banaz. It's some other things like gin and vodka.
Bert's quaffing. You'll notice he wears a leather apron for a reason. It's because he's a quaffer. So not all of the drink goes in his mouth.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So you're not. I'm going to give you a little benefit with race here. You're not completely drunk, but you're happy. This is a pretty nice place. These are pretty nice people.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't mind being teleported in the middle of the night over to a strange place where the cars move without horses. This is it's all nice place.
Yeah, it tends to grow on you. And then Mickey's going to notice that Marple and Nazar have joined you. And how are the two of you doing here? Do you need anything else to drink or anything like that? Any questions I might answer for you or anything of that type of line of thought?
I'm good. And I take a look at my friend here. I think he's had enough.
She's going to wink at you.
You should try this one. It's called a woo woo.
Oh, goodness. I forget not everybody's as used to this as I am. Oh, no. Okay. I'm going to try to gently, redirect his attention away from his drinks to the rest of the room and to the job at hand.
All right, so Banaz, you're going to let her redirect you.
Well, yes, but I'll take one drink with me. I have to have something in my hands.
Okay, so as Marple is redirecting Banaz, Mickey's going to lean across the bar and tug on your sleeve really quick, Nazar. And she's going to lean forward. She goes, I've been watering them down and adding some coloring to him for fun. He's not going to get any more drunk than he is right now, and I'm wondering if he's more drunk because he's trying out things. Don't worry about it.
Roger that.
And she leans back over and she starts wiping down the table with a sly grin on her face. So, are you all now turned back to the bar type of situation?
Yeah, I just kind of, I'm patting, BS on the back, like, so you feeling pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I like this place. I think this is possibly the best thing that has happened to me in a long time. In a long, long time.
That's good. That's really good. So you're feeling pretty pumped, right? You're ready for whatever tonight brings?
Yes, I am strong like ox.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Good. All right. So, see anything that has caught your attention yet? What do you think?
Well, mostly the Long Island iced tea. That one was really nice.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
What is this place, do you think?
Um,
Never
well,
seen a tavern like this.
if I had to put a word to it, I would say speakeasy. Like, well, she did say that they serve alcohol and the local authorities aren't really fond of that. So, it's not my first time in a place like this.
Oh, you mean it's like an underground club?
Yeah.
That's a joke because all dwarven clubs are underground.
Yeah, I understand. And she kind of like,
It's funny, huh?
right? Like, okay. So, yeah, so like, it's not your ordinary kind of bar.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm feeling a little weird about it now that I'm thinking about it. Those other adventurers they hired are out on some other mission right now. And if it really is a speakeasy, why usually like there's an underground part? He's right, where that the drinking's gonna happen, not just out in the open. I almost feel like this could be. I feel like this could almost be some kind of a setup, but I don't think everyone's in on it. I don't know. I'm almost thinking. I don't know. I'm worried about BB.
Well, we needed a password to get in here.
That's a good point.
You know.
All right, so what do you think you guys would like to do from this point? You're still checking things out. Now, don't forget, you do have the wait staff, you have the housemaids, you have Evie, you have Nikki and Sebastian as well, if you want to talk with them a little bit more and get more information if you feel that's necessary. You could also move through the different areas of the establishment if you want and take a look at things.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna mill around a little bit. I'm naturally a little suspicious anyway, and like I said, it's not my first time in a seedy establishment, so I'm just kind of milling around and maybe look a little bit more closely and talk to some folks.
Okay, sure. So if you're looking a little bit more closely, I want you to give me an investigation check, please. Very nice. So as you're looking around things, and guys, are you going to be following alongside? Are you going to go in different directions? What do you think you'd like to do?
Yeah, I'm kind of just with Marple right now, just kind of letting her take the lead.
Okay. And Banaz or BS or Bart?
Well, Marple seems to be looking after me, so I'll follow Marple.
Okay.
But
Marple...
I finished my drink, so I put the glass down and I start wringing my hands. My axe. I'll use my axe. That'll be good too. Just,
okay, so you're holding the axe, and you're going to see one of the waiters as he comes by to pick up your glass. He's just going to kind of look at you with a confused face and just sort of pick up the glass and move back on you. He's been told that you're the new hire, so he kind of understands that you're here for a different reason than what his job might be. And he'll take the glass back into the kitchen area to get it cleaned up and everything like that. But Marple, you're noticing the same couple who just walked in not too long ago, they're still sitting on the couch. But it almost seems like there's a little bit more smoke starting to come back out of the fireplace as opposed to up the chimney than what you would expect.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking that's a little bit unusual, so I'm going to head over in that direction.
Okay. So you get over there, and the couple, they're basically there, and they're whispering to each other. They're not really paying attention to anyone but each other, to put it nicely. You can tell this is probably a little lover's tryst where they've escaped for a little bit and they're enjoying the quiet time with one another. So they don't even take notice of the three of you walking over there to look at the fireplace. And honestly, the fireplace is more towards their left, behind their shoulders type of setup.
I'm gonna not be very loud. I don't want to have them hear me, but I'm gonna move in close to my companions and say, the smoke, out of that fireplace is not behaving the way it should be. I think there's something, I don't know if it's magic, but there's something going on with it.
So what would you like to do, guys?
I feel like it's got to be another one of those disturbances, which probably was the same thing that happened with that tree branch too. Just these like little things happening. I kind of want to just casually walk over there with my drink and maybe try and do like a really close investigation of like maybe just talk to BS about like how great a fireplace it is, like well constructed, and kind of like pretend to look up it. Just be like, wow, we got to get one of these like for the back home or whatever. Kind of
yeah, is it like marble and stuff?
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's probably the most opulent thing. Chances are she's had this brought in from some old world country. There's engravings. It's this black marble-like material with gold inlay.
100% with you, Nazar. Except whilst you have an ulterior motive of looking around, Bert does not. Bert is genuinely just looking like, yes, you're right, look at the gold inlay. How did they get gold veining inside marble? This is fantastic. They must have taken it straight out of the rock somehow. And he's going to be doing that as Scrat desperately fishes for more inspiration.
At this point, yes, you get another bit of inspiration from that.
That's
All right, so Nazar, if you want to give an in-depth investigation is the word I'm looking for. Roll for investigation. I'm going to give you advantage because you kind of have BS helping you out.
Okay. Well.
Well,
maybe BS shouldn't be helping you out.
Yeah. So you're noticing it's like, yeah, the wood seems to be normal wood, and yeah, it seems like maybe fire should be going, not the fire, but the smoke should be going up, but there are little trails coming out from the fireplace, and it's gathering a little bit, but this place is so big, it's not like clustering up and creating an issue quite yet.
As I bent down, some hard candies, like a ton, fell out of my pocket, and I'm just like, oh, and I'm kind of just trying to get them up, but like these guys saw.
Okay, did you use your inspiration yet?
Have I used it? No.
No. Okay, so your hard candies are on the floor, so it's once you use your inspiration, then you can work for another one. But I like the fact that the hard candies.
I see. Okay.
So these candies have tumbled out, and one of the waiters sees that you're kind of a little concerned that they spilled out. He's quickly sweeping them. He goes, "I'll make sure we bring you some more, sir. Not to worry. We have plenty of these, but I'll be right back." And he's so concerned about the candies, he's not even noticing the smoke from the fireplace because he's in such a rush to attend to your needs.
Marple just shakes her head, seeing, the distraction of both of her companions, and she's just going to take a close look.
Okay.
So she's like, you know what? I tried to run distractions so they could investigate, but I'm going to investigate.
Okay, go for it. Look at that. So, as you walk up to this fire, the fire itself seems to be rather healthy. The wood seems to be the right kind of wood. This isn't an issue of it being wet wood, new wood, anything like that. Okay. And again, you see this smoke kind of billowing out a little bit. And then as you're looking at it, you see this long stick poking down from where the chimney should be, shoot down really quick and tap the fire a little bit more and then quickly zip back up. And it is so fast, if you hadn't have been looking, you wouldn't have noticed it, nor would anyone have else. And as that happens, the fire lights up a little bit stronger, and now more smoke is starting to billow out into the room.
Guys, there was somebody poking it with a stick in there. Okay.
Well, we just take away the oxygen and it goes out. Where's the pump?
No, somebody... Okay. Somebody is stoking this to do exactly what we see it doing. It's not the wood. It's not a problem of the fire itself. This is intentional.
And as you're saying that spear comes back down and it's poking the wood again, and now there's actually smoke starting to billow out of the chimney and down onto the floor to the point where the couple start sniffing. They look over and the woman stands up and she screeches, "Fire!" And she's running away from the fireplace. And the gentleman she is with is in hot pursuit because he's just seeing this black smoke starting to gather in front of the fireplace. And all of a sudden you have everyone, the fire is running throughout the rest of the establishment, and people are starting to get into a panic and running away from the fireplace.
Obviously, if this is magical, it won't work, but Bert's natural reaction would be to, like, just take some tools from his pouch, from his leather vest, and use his smith tools to try and douse the fire.
Okay.
It's burning too hot. We need to cool it down.
So you're aiming your focus on the fire itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so the fire goes out, and then you're gonna hear, and it's muffled inside the chimney, and you're hearing this scuttling sound, and it's like if you've ever had squirrels in your attic or mice behind walls. It's that little scritchy sound. And you can hear that it is working its way down behind the wall where the chimney probably is. And it's getting lower down to you. And that spear is furiously now poking at that wood.
Nazar, can you...
Go ahead.
No, you...
No, I was thinking if I'm right there, can I try to grab it?
Yeah, give me a strength check.
I'm not very strong, so this is probably not going to work very well.
You roll, I roll. Let's see.
Let's see. It's not letting me do it.
Either click on the word strength
There
or...
it is. Okay.
There you go. Okay, so you momentarily get a hold of that spear, and then you hear this, and the spear gets pulled up the chimney.
Oh. God.
And as it's pulled up, these embers start falling a little bit. Like this old stuff starts falling a little bit, and it's almost like ever see Mary Poppins, where they're doing the chimney sweeps. So you get some soot and old dust sort of falling down, and a little bit gets on your face.
Not the first time. We got to go after it.
Let's go.
Well, how big is this fireplace? How wide is this chimney?
It's a good sized fireplace. It's probably, being a dwarf, BS could probably stand in there and look up if he wanted to, because it's one of those like 4 foot high deals before the mantle kicks in, and it's about 3 feet deep inside.
Well, I'm little enough. I'll definitely take a look up there.
Okay. So
I'm stepping in to take a look up.
All right, give me a perception check.
I figure I got my dark vision.
Okay. All right, so you look up, and it's definitely something where, because of the smoke having collected inside, it's dark and it's a little bit blurry. But you do see 2 eye-like shapes dimly glowing with a similar night vision look to your eyes that yours get when it is dark out. So it's got like this little flash to them almost, and they've locked onto you.
Uh-huh.
What
Hey,
would
you
you
little
like?
jerk.
So you're gonna shout, "Hey, little jerk," up there?
Yeah.
Okay. And you just hear this guttural, almost like hissing sound, and it's not that it's speaking anything to you; it's just mad at you. So it's kind of like, and it starts moving down a little bit closer, and more debris starts falling from the chimney towards you.
I think Bert would probably step in with Marple. I mean, he stands at 4'2", so duck in, come in. What's going on?
I can't tell if this is... I can't tell what it is, but it seems to have eyesight about like mine. It seemed to be able to see me perfectly well through all the muck and soot.
Can I try and use my athletic skill to just climb up that chimney and grab onto him and bring him down?
If you're gonna do that, let's roll initiative.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, roll 20, come on.
Oh. Well, you were drinking, so...
I suppose.
Okay, let me get a little friend going. Okay, so then we're gonna have Nazar, you go first with your 16, and then it's going to be Marple comes in next, then your little glowing-eyed friend will be after you, Marple, and we'll round out with Banaz, or BS, as we have been calling him. All right, so Nazar, you get the first move here. So what is it you'd like to try and do?
I just like to jump up and grab onto him because it's a confined space. I don't really think he can use any weapons. Same as really I couldn't.
Okay. Now, while the two others can fit in there rather comfortably, you being half orc, you can't jump up this chimney. There's no way your shoulders are going to fit through. You can at least try to reach up for this creature because it has come down probably within reaching length for you.
Is it possible for me to like use my quarterstaff and kind of throw it up like a spear, just or like a pool stick, to just like hit him really hard, maybe make him fall?
Yes, but roll with disadvantage because your sight is limited because of the smoke and the soot that's been collecting.
Okay. So it's it's D20.
Yep. Roll for your if you hover over where your quarterstaff is, you said, right?
Yep.
Click on the word quarterstaff in the weapons section.
Okay.
So click on that, and that's going to roll it. Oh, very nice. Okay, so you're taking matters in your hand, and you're shooting this up the chimney. Now, what I want you to do is click on in the chat section where it's just rolled, and you see the 26.
Yeah.
Click quarterstaff there, and that'll give us information that I need. So literally click on the word quarterstaff, and it should give us the damage roll.
Okay.
Okay, so that gives us 13. All right. So your quarterstaff goes up there and it hits this creature, even though you can't really see it that well, but you've done this enough in terms of throwing your quarterstaff where you're pretty tried and true on it. And you could have sworn you saw these flashing eyes again. And you hear a ka-thunk. And again, you hear this, and your quarterstaff gets thrown down the chimney. And along with it, you realize that there is something coming towards you as your quarterstaff is also falling. So I'd like you to give me an athletics check to get it out of the way, or you can try and have this thing land on top of you. It's completely up to you.
I guess I'll do athletics.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Yeah. So you manage to dodge out of the way. And then what happens is as you're dodging out of the way, this rather soot-covered, large head, hairy creature with these piercing eyes peering out from underneath basically scraggly sooty hair and these raggedy collections of clothes is now standing between all three of you with his spear in hand, sneering and growling at each and every one of you and ready for a fight, which then brings us over to Marple. What would you like to do with this guy?
Well, I don't want him to get a hit on me, so I'm going to try to make a hit on him first.
Okay, so
Now, how big is he?
He's probably about your size.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I think I had my rapier out before, so I'm going to go back to using that. So.
Okay. All right. So then click on the rapier on your character sheet where it's in the weapons section. Okay. 15 will hit. So click on the word rapier in the chat. Very nice. Oh, did that give you the critical read or the... So it's a scrap with roll 20. Is that just take the 10?
Yeah, just take the left.
Okay. Okay. So you give a nice solid 10 points of damage to this creature, and you can tell it is very much not happy at the fact that it's getting poked and prodded and has been knocked out of its chimney. And this feisty, aggravated thing is going to, let's see here. He's going to go after Nazar, and he's going to take a look at you. And actually, you can see, like I said, those eyes are going to take a look at you. And it's almost like they're glowing, and his brows furrow, and he's looking at you with such disgust and disdain. And you are going to need to give me a DC Wisdom save throw and get at least a 13 on this one for me.
Okay. So, just hit Wisdom?
Yeah, in the saving throw section, just click on Wisdom.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh.
so unfortunately, that does not take for you, and basically he has just given you a little bit of a curse to have ill manners. And essentially this means that you're going to have disadvantage on all of your ability checks that involve charisma, and that's going to sustain for a little bit. So anytime you have to do a charisma check of any type, you will be doing it with disadvantage from here on out for the game, unless something else helps you out there. So that is going to be his action. Now, BS, it's your turn.
Well, in that case, I will move forward, and I will clutch the bear paw at my waist for just a second, and I will enter a rage.
Okay.
As I breathe deeply, it's more of a spiritual thing as I take on, you know, my ancestors' bare necessities. And I walk forward and I go, no, you are being most impolite, and strike at the little creature.
Okay, let's see what happens. And you manage to hit.
Boom.
Okay, very nice. So tell me, how do you basically kill off this ugly, curmudgeon-y, sooty, hairy, disgusting little fellow?
Well, I walk forward with my two-handed axe. I place one hand on shoulder and other hand, just like a smith at the forge.
And you cut him in twain?
Yes, and then let go of the shoulder as I drop it. I'm sorry about that, everyone. Sorry you had to see that as I start, and then I start stretching out my arm.
Great. So as this body basically peels in two parts, falls essentially onto where the logs have been, you're going to notice as well at this point, there seems to be more soot and ashes coming down from the chimney, and you're hearing that scuttling again.
There's another one. Okay. Taking another closer look. If I can see the
Okay,
source
give me,
of the sound.
so give me an investigation on that one then. All right, so you're looking up and you can see some shapes moving up, but they're actually a little bit further up than the other little creature was before. You don't have the glowing eyes like before as he had, but there's definitely a few things moving around up there. And the more they're moving, the more this stuff is starting to fall down the chimney and just creating like this ash and dust that's collecting. And as this is happening, you do have a few of the waitstaff kind of like collecting around you, and they're going to tap you on the shoulder, Nazar, and say, is the fire under control, sir? We heard there was a fire issue. So Nazar, what are you going to tell them?
Oh, it's my bad. I thought that was
No, it's totally fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, okay, fire is there was something in the fireplace, and we just need a couple minutes to figure this out. Like there's no risk of fire right now, so don't worry about that. But we definitely need to investigate a little bit further before we let other people around.
All right, understood, sir. I'm going to go speak to our piano player and kind of get people dancing on the dance floor then. So you see him walk off, and he's going to go speak to that gentleman behind the piano, and the music picks up a little bit, and you hear this gentleman just speak out, "Ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you that we are quite fine and we are quite safe, and it is time to get your feet moving on the dance floor." And so he's going to start playing, and he looks over at the three of you and smiles over his shoulder. And sure enough, as he's saying this, it's like he's attracted all the people to the dance floor. So right now, you have that whole lounge area to yourselves, and no one else is going to step in or bother you. You don't have to worry about the patrons kind of running around in a panic anymore.
Okay. How many stories was this establishment?
It's 3.
3. Okay. So those things are pretty high up. The question is, what's the best way to intercept them?
I'm almost thinking they've got to be. That one was clearly close because he could hit it with his spear. He could hit the wood. But this one might be pretty far up. We could try and get on the roof. I mean, that's where they're going to try and escape from. And if we could even enter down the chimney from the roof, if we had to, we could fight him back in this room.
Maybe.
Okay, so is that the approach you all want to take?
BS, what do you think?
I mean, we could also just block up the chimney.
Block it up?
Well, it's going to be easier for those of us who are on the smaller side, but if you're larger, if you want to go up on the roof, and then
it's an option.
I'm down to do that. Yeah, we could kind of like pincer attack, hit him from both sides.
Okay. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of a divide and conquer type of technique here.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do then is, Nazar, you can head back out the front door area from whence you came. And then what I'll need you, Banaz and Marple, if you can give me an initiative roll right now, and then we'll factor in Nazar as he gets towards the roof.
Okay.
All right. And then, Banaz, did you roll yet for initiative? There we
Getting
go.
better. Getting better, slowly.
There we are. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, so we're going to have Marple starting us off at this point, and then these funky little creatures in the chimney will go after, and then we'll round that off with Banaz BS following after, and we have Nazar. You're going out and up, hopefully to get up to the chimney.
I wanna
So.
just Sebastian on what happened as I'm like running out.
Okay, so you're running out and you're going to quickly speak to Sebastian. What is it you'd like to tell Sebastian?
I just want to give him a heads up of what happened inside and let him know that like he's got to be on guard for sure.
So you said you killed one of these things? What did it look like?
It was kind of like a little. It's hard to explain. It had piercing eyes. It was on the shorter side. I guess it kind of looked like a goblin, something like that. It came out of the chimney. And we have reason to believe there's at least one more in the chimney. So just watch out. I'm going to go head on the roof right now and try and do a pincer attack with my squad.
Why you want to get up on the roof?
Because we think they might run back out of the chimney, and then we can at least either fight them or capture them.
That's a very astute observation of you. How about I give you an alley-oop above at the porch?
That'd be awesome.
All right, by the way, was that thing hairy?
Was it hairy? I can't remember.
You
It had some hairs, yeah.
Yeah, I have an idea of what this thing might be. We had to deal with one of them a little while back. But yeah, all right, I'll give you a boost up over in that way you can start attacking from both sides of things. Not a bad idea. Very impressive, sir. So the two of you will go outside and he'll kind of give you like the classic hands on the bottom, give you the boost up. But I want you to give me an acrobatics check as he is doing this. All right, so with the 16, he gives you an alley-oop. Luckily, this the porch itself, it's not a terribly sloped roof, so it's almost like just a slight incline to it, so you're able to get up onto the porch. Now, the second floor does have a balcony, but it's a wrought iron fence, basically, banister, that's what I'm looking for, around the outside of the balcony. So you could feasibly climb up this as well if you wanted to get to the top portion of the area and get to the roof.
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay, so then let's do another athletics on that one. Perfect. So you're able to get up to the top of the roof and you can identify the chimney pretty well. That's the offending chimney because there's no more smoke coming out of that particular one since you put the fire out. You can tell that the kitchen area is a little bit pushed further back from the area. So you can see where the chimney is that you need to work from. So you can start making your way over. As we have Nazar making his way over, let's go back to Marvel. What is it you'd like to do first to try and get these things out of the chimney?
Well, I got to get closer to it if I'm going to try to make an attack or anything. So I'm going to try climbing.
Okay, then you need to give me an athletics.
Not my best, but no. Can I use my inspiration to roll it again?
Yeah, I'll let you do it again. You can add your... All right, we'll go with that one. So you're able to get up there a little bit higher. It's still one of those things where it's not exactly easy because, again, don't forget there's been ash and soot collecting around this from the fire being stuffed up. So you're able to move up. I'll give you half your normal speed since you're climbing here and it's a little bit not so grand. So let's say about 15 feet up.
Okay.
All right, so that is your action. That's going to bring us to the lovely little things in the chimney. And you're going to notice that something is now coming towards you. And it is going to scurry down quickly, and it is about 5 feet away from you now. And will a 16 hit?
Oh gosh, let's see. Where's my? I'm trying to see. I'm looking for my AC. You said a 16? Yes.
Yes. Okay, so a 16 will hit. So as this thing comes towards you, it is kind of like one of these situations now near your face. And you notice that right away, it doesn't have the glowing eyes like before, and you do have dark vision, correct?
Yes.
So what you're seeing in front of you is almost this insect-like face. It seems slightly fuzzy, and it's got like these big bug eyes to it. And it reminds you of how a moth might look, except on a larger scale. And as you're noticing this, you also notice that this thing shoots out from its mouth, and it is going to hit you with its proboscis.
Oh.
And let's see what you're going to take on here. So you are going to be taking 5 points piercing damage.
Oh.
And then as this is happening, you see that there are a couple others that are coming down behind it as well, moving down the chimney towards you. Now that they're seeing that there's something on the other end. And then tell you what, Nazar, why don't you roll for an initiative so we can see if we can put you into this lineup.
Okay.
Okay, that actually works out nicely. So Nazar, you'll be at the very end. So BS, you hear Marple up there making some noises. What are you going to do?
A room in the chimney for both of us? If I was to...
You could probably move up behind her. I don't think you could scurry around her.
I really need to attack something otherwise I lose my rage. Could I navigate a javelin around her?
Yeah, you probably could. It's wide enough where you could aim it up and over and beyond her as opposed to hitting her. So let's see.
Yeah, so I'll sort of do it like a, like that sort of thing where I'm like...
Okay. All right, let's roll and see if you hit the target that is not Marple.
And I'll use my inspiration on this one.
Sure.
I don't wanna hit Marple. Boom.
Very nice. All right, so you're definitely going to hit this thing.
Good.
All right, so tell me, how do you kill this first thing that struck out at your friend Marple?
Oh, well, just like that, I just, just whoop, and the javelin just goes straight up, and it does not come down.
Okay. So Marple, you see in front of you this javelin go streaming by your head, and it lodges directly between the eyes that you were seeing staring right in front of you. And it actually isn't moving anymore. And it almost seems that it's starting to slowly slide down toward you because it's no longer having the life to hold itself up.
Oh, God.
All right. This is going to bring us up to Naz. Now that you are at the chimney, you can actually look down and in. What is it you would like to do?
There's definitely, we confirm that there's 2 in there, right? And one just was killed, so there's one other one?
Well, they see that there's, we have Marple knowing how many are up there.
Right, okay. So let me try and look in. I gotta look in and see what the situation is.
Okay, do you have dark vision at all?
No.
No. Okay, so you're looking in, and it's a little interesting considering this, so I want you to give me a perception check, please.
Okay.
All right, it's a little bit too dark to see what's going on exactly, but you can hear the scuttling sound, and you know that something is definitely down there in the chimney. So it's up to you as to how you want to proceed with this one.
So I think I want to stand by and just make sure none escape through the back.
Okay, so you're kind of protecting the top part of the chimney to protect or to prevent anything from coming through.
Right.
So you want to hold action?
I'm trying. I don't think there's anything really of value I can do because I feel like I could hit somebody if I just threw a weapon down there.
You can also try and shout down to them if you want to communicate.
Oh, that's perfect. I want to yell down and just say guys, I'm up here. I can't really see what's going on.
Okay.
But I'm at the base of the chimney.
Okay, that's going to wrap us up and around to Marple. Marple, what would you like to do? You're hearing Nazar scream down the chimney that he's there now.
Okay. Can I see others within range of me?
Yeah, they're moving down towards you because they can smell that their companion is now no longer with them.
If I've got at least one more that's in range of me, I would like to make an attack on it.
Okay. So give me, what are you going to use to attack?
If I've got space for it, I would probably use my short sword. Because I think the rapier might be a little bit difficult here.
I will tell you this right now, they're not in reach range for you because you have the other body kind of between the two of you. And remember that body's also starting to slide down a little bit because it's not gripping.
Okay, then I'm going to navigate around the body.
Okay, so give me athletics check if you're going to maneuver around this.
Could we say cautious as Bert was that he's waiting at the bottom in case Marple falls?
Yeah,
Sure.
that's
Sure,
a good
absolutely.
idea.
It makes sense to me. Yeah, you can totally be there, like ready to catch. Unfortunately, because you have the weight of this creature that's on top of you pushing down, and as you're trying to work your way around it, you lose your grip and you are being pushed down by this dead creature, and you are going to land into BS's arms, hopefully. So BS, I need you to give me a strength check, please, of let's say 10.
Okay, can I use save or athletics at all?
What was that?
Can I use a save or athletics at all?
Yeah, do a strength save. Perfect. Okay. So, because he's kind of there ready for it, we have Marple landing nicely in his arms, cushion catch. However, this large creature with a javelin stuck in it now goes kerplunk on top of the sliced in half creature. And this was definitely a huge moth that has been up the chimney. And what you're going to notice about this moth is that it's very dark in color and it looks almost like soot itself. And now that you've fallen, Marple, we have the other two that have been up in that chimney, and you hear them scuttling down because they know there's activity happening. So they're going to come down and they are going to basically stick their heads out of the chimney towards the two of you. And we're going to have one going after BS and one going after and one going after Marple. So BS, will a 18 hit you?
It will.
Okay. And then Marple, will a 4 hit you?
No.
All right, so Marple, because you have been in BS's arms, I have a feeling he's probably turned his body as the one goes to strike out and strike against him. And it's the same thing. You see this thing sort of open its mouth and this long proboscis shoots out and it aims itself at Banaz. And Banaz, you are going to take on 5 points of piercing damage as well.
Which I will halve to 2.
Oh, that's right, because you're raging. So you'll take 2 points of damage for that one.
And
Okay.
I am bear too, so it's everything except for psychic attacks. DM.
Okay. Great.
Here's a knife.
All right. So now we have Banaz, you are up.
This thing just I will put. I hope I can put down Marple as a free action. Would that be?
Yes,
like
absolutely,
Here you
absolutely.
go,
Yeah,
Marple.
I'm getting out of your arms.
Excuse me. And
Thank
I will
you.
turn like that. Is not very nice. This is nice establishment where they give you lots of drinks and swing with my axe. Like its head's poking out, so.
Yeah, its head's kind of poking out. All right, so let's see what you get with your battle axe there. And you will hit. Let's see damage. All right, and that axe is being nice to you. So how do you kill this one?
Well, I just severed the head. Like,
Okay, so as you sever the head, the head goes down and actually kind of rolls a little bit to the side. This is looking quite gruesome and lovely, and its body's going to just fall down because, let's face it, it's dead. So you see the rest of the body go kerplunk, and you now have this piling up bodies on top of the grate of the fireplace. That leaves just the one thing. So Naz, you're up at the top. What would you like to do now?
So is there another enemy that's down in the base of the chimney, and the other two are out of the chimney?
Yes, but you don't know that.
I don't know that. Okay, are they considered fiends?
Nope.
Okay. I could try and go back in. I guess I would shout down again and say, should I throw my spear straight down? Or my quarterstaff straight down.
what's a
Okay.
goal for me?
What did you say?
Oh, is it muffled? That's okay with me.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so yeah, if you want to try and give your
Yeah,
quarterstaff,
I'll take that as information that Marple's also out of there, so I'm just gonna throw it down as hard as I can.
okay, so let's see if you can do this.
What should I roll?
Just click on your quarterstaff since you're going to throw it.
Okay.
And as you throw your quarterstaff down, you hear it sort of hit some of the stone a little bit, and then there's this soft thud sound. So you do just manage to hit it. So hit the quarterstaff word, and let's see the damage you get on that one. All right, great. So it has definitely taken some damage, and you can hear Marple and Banaz down below that it's not happy and it's wiggling a little bit. And as it's wiggling, you're hearing like this back and forth clunk, 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 clunk as the quarterstaff is now lodged in its back area. But it has been injured. So that brings us to the top, that brings us to the top of Marple. Marple, what would you like to do with this now?
Okay, now there's nothing in my way. I would like to make an attack on this thing.
Okay.
Now that I'm unencumbered, I would like to actually use my rapier.
Sure.
Make an attack on it.
All right. Beautiful. Let's see the damage you get on it. Lovely. So how do you kill this big bug?
Oh, just like right through the forehead, if I can. Just like, I really didn't like what it did to me, so I take it very personally.
Okay, so it's just like a nice stick right between the eyes, going through the back of the head.
Right between the eyes.
Okay, great. So you basically, as you stab this thing, you can feel the weight of it starting to slink down on you. You'll pull your rapier out just in time as yet another body is added to the pile of things collecting up in the fireplace, and you are now out of initiative. All of these lovely critters are now no longer here. What would you like to do?
Is everybody okay? Kind of call up the chimney. I think we're okay.
Okay, I'll come back around.
All right, so Nazar, you're gonna come back down the roof.
Yes, because I can't go in the chimney, right? It's too big. It's too
narrow. Definitely at that point too, because it tapers up as it goes further and further up. So as you're going down this roof, I want you to give me an athletics check to get to the second floor, which you do just fine, no problem. All right, now give me another athletics check to get onto the porch roof. Even better, it's probably because you've already had this luck and you're like, hey, okay, cool, something happened here. All right, now you have Sebastian. He's standing there and he's looking up. He goes, how'd it go?
I'm like, Sebastian, it's a pretty sick battle. I mean, my two companions did a lot of work downstairs, and I was able to do some serious damage to one of them with my quarterstaff, straight through the chimney.
That is a most excellent thing to hear. All right, why don't you try and make your way down and make sure you're not going to hurt yourself or nothing like that.
All right.
It's up to you. You can try another check, or you can just work your way down.
I'll do another athletics check to get down.
Okay. Yeah, you're totally fine. You're totally fine. Sebastian's gonna give you like another like hearty handshake. You do your your bro stuff thing again, and he's smiling. He goes, all right, you guys definitely deserve a drink. Let's check out and see what we got going on here. Come on, let's get back inside with the other two. And I know the missus is gonna be very curious to see what it was this time around. And
awesome.
so the two are gonna walk in. Okay. So you guys head back in. Marple and Banaz, what are you doing at this point now that these bodies are dead? And you are going to see Nazar with Sebastian coming into the front door area as well.
I'm just kind of, transfixed by something. Just, you don't know what.
You're just kind of staring off into the distance.
Like something about it. You don't know what. Something about the moths or that hairy thing. And I'm just like,
All right, give yourself another inspiration there.
I actually used to do this sort of thing way back in the day. It's how I made my name. Whether you stop staring or not, Bert just starts talking. He's like, I killed a creature that was attacking the mine. It was like some big thing with like mandibles and and I hacked off one of its legs. It was a good day. Moths. This is the first time for moths, I must say. These are big things. Let's take a look at the moths, shall we?
Moths, yeah.
All right, so as you two are looking at this point, Sebastian and Nazar, they have come up to the fireplace as well. Nazar, what would you like to do now that you see them about to take a look at these moths? You two of you can give me history checks on this. Or Arcana. History or Arcana for Banaz and for Marple.
History or Arcana?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have. It's all the same to me, so let's see.
Whatever you want is perfectly fine. Okay. All right. I have a feeling that we have our dear B.S. Benaz is still rattling on about the previous kill and all of his memories down in the mines and everything like that, and he's waxing poetic about it. Nazar, what would you like to do now that you've come across and you see that Marple is looking closely at these various bodies?
I want to say congrats, guys. I just want to say, like, good job. I like that. I love battle. And then I just want to, I guess, try and investigate. Yeah, I guess I would also just look at the bodies, kind of see any items on them or anything, if they were carrying anything.
Okay, yeah, if you want to, you can do an investigation check on the split in half humanoid body.
Okay.
To check for items on it. And then as you're looking over these moth bodies, Marple, you can tell that they are definitely not the usual type of moth that you have ever really seen in your passings. You also notice that they definitely have this look as if they must somehow be related to fire, because it isn't just the soot from the chimney that has been attached to them. They almost seem to be soot-like in and of themselves, especially on the wings. What you've basically come across, and you'll hear Sebastian kind of mutter under his breath, these goddamn soot-wing moths. We can't seem to get rid of them. They seem to crop up like every couple of days. I swear we bring in a new thing of wood, and then there's more soot-wings a couple of days later. Yeah, they're not...
What are soot-wing moths?
Yeah, we've had another instance, I want to say about 5 days ago. And kind of the same thing happened, except they got further down, and I don't know what stopped them this time, because that's a new one. These things just made their way right to the fire and then made a nuisance of themselves. But luckily, I was able to take care of the two that came through. But you said there was something else involved here too?
Point to the humanoid thing.
Okay, and then as you are looking over the split in half body, Nazar, you are able to find basically just a simple spear. It's really not of the best quality. It's a little bit charred at the end. It's also not really scaled to you, so it's probably going to be something that looks more like a wand than it is a full throttle spear for you. But that's really the only thing that you found on this creature. The rest of it is just sort of like ripped up rags and nothing of great importance, quite frankly.
Okay. I might just, can I just take the spear for now? Or like the little thing?
Yeah, you can take the spear. That's totally fine.
Okay, yeah, I'll grab that and kind of say to the guys, like, nothing really is weird about this. Yeah, other than the spear.
But having looked at the moth, is now walking around, shaking his limbs, just, stretching out.
All right, you get your inspiration there, Scrat. All right, so then Sebastian, he's going to look over too, and he's like, oh, that's impressive. Who did that one? And he's pointing to the body that's like peeled in half.
And I kind of, point over to BS.
Was that one me? I don't know. Sometimes when I enter rage, I just forget things. That one was me. Okay.
That was all you.
Oh boy.
This is a job well done. This is, I don't know what this is from looking at it this way. And he's actually going to kneel down. He's just going to have those moth bodies to the side. And he's going to pick up the two halves of this body and kind of push them together to make it look like it's whole again. And he's kind of going to sit there and scratch his head. Yeah, I'm not so sure about this one. Would one of you mind go and get Mickey? This is more along her line of things, I have a feeling.
Oh, Mickey with the drinks, I'll go.
Okay, so... All right, so I have a feeling we're seeing Bert here running over quickly, like, ooh, drink, yep. As he makes his way to the bar. And so what do we see as you are approaching the bar here, Bert? What are you going to do here to get Mickey's attention? Because she is working with a few other patrons now. Some people are getting a little drink after the excitement of a fire, and the bar's a little bit more crowded than before.
I will stand on stool, then stand on bar and go, I need Mickey for just a moment!
Give me a performance check!
Oh boy.
It's actually a pretty crowded bar, and you're not the only one standing up there trying to get her attention because you're not the only one of smaller stature. So she's still kind of like filling things up. And you notice that the dwarf that Nazar had been speaking to before, he looks up at you and he goes, "Yeah, it's a little bit harder for us to, be able to get her attention because she's a hard worker. So, you might want to try again, my friend, and I'll make sure I help you out a little bit. So this time you can roll with assistance. Give yourself advantage."
This time Bert's going to do it slightly differently. He's a little huffed. He was recently in a rage. And no one is listening to him. So anyone standing in front of the bar between him and Mickey is going to be thrown off the bar, and he will be pushing and shoving like, "I need to get to Mickey," and until he's like nearly face to face.
Okay, let's roll. Yeah, let's do strength checks on strength as you're pushing these people out of the way. All right, so you're moving these people back and away, and Mickey suddenly is going to look and be like, "What the hell do you think you're doing?"
"Oh, we have a situation over by fireplace. Sebastian needs you."
"Why did you say so in the first place?"
"I tried. You couldn't hear me over these people."
Paying people?
"Oh, okay.
Buying
I can do this
people?
bit if you like. Do you want me to do the serving of drinks? I can have a go. Looks fun."
All right, sure. And you're going to see she's bending over, and she pulls out basically what's sort of a set of risers out from the bar so you can be at the right height to reach everyone as she moves off. And she's going to make her way over to the, did you tell her where she's going?
Fireplace.
Okay. So she'll be like, "All right." And she's just giving you a quick rundown of like, this is here and that is there and this is here and that is there. And she's going to come back over to where we have Marple and we have Nazar waiting with the oddity that Sebastian has no idea what this thing is, but he's tried to kind of piece it back together. So we had a situation here, but it's under control. What's our problem?
Point to the body and say, "We're trying to figure out what this is."
Oh, for crying out loud. And she's going to take one look and she's going to say like, "Yep, it's another one. It's another plant. I can't believe he's got another one of these things in here. Congratulations, you just killed yourself a Morco. However, did any of you get an interesting look on your face from him?
What do you mean?
Did he stare any of you down?"
Yeah, he got me.
Well, I mean, we kind of locked eyes there for a minute.
All right. But you said he looked specifically at you. Did he get a rather focused look? And did they glow a little bit, maybe?
Yeah.
Mr. Nazar, you said you yourself had it?
Yeah, it was pretty intense look. I feel like he definitely did something.
All right. You're going to have to come back with me back to the bar. And you may not like the medicine, but it'll do the trick for you, sweetheart. Otherwise, we're going to have to wait for Bianca to get back here. Sebastian, you can go away with the mods. We know what those are. Just wrap that little sucker up and you know where to take it. And Sebastian's going to nod his head and he goes, "Yeah, I can handle this one. No problem at all, my friend. I will make sure to clean up the mess a little bit." And you already see him waving over a couple of the wait staff who have come with, a couple of sheets and everything like that to remove the scene. Thankfully, everyone's either at the bar still or over on the dance floor because you still have your piano player doing his job and really jazzing it up for everyone. And essentially, we're going to have Mickey escort you guys back to the bar where we see Benaz doing his thing. So please describe what we're doing here and what we're seeing here as we have Mickey, Marple, and Nazar walking back to you, Benaz.
Well, Bert, he doesn't really know what he's doing, so, what do you want? And, like, he'll just be taking orders and trying to make the drinks. So, like, I think with ale and wine, he'll be okay. Don't talk fancy, red or white. And, give people red or white. And then when people ask for these other things, he'll be like, "Okay, cosmopolitan. Let's see. Not the best speller. C. There's got to be one with a C, and basically any spirit on the bar that begins with a C is the first thing to go into a cosmopolitan, and then an O, and then an S. And, oh, that's free. That'll probably do. Let's just fill it with soda. There you go.
I don't know if that's how that works. But,
You just
Marple
see,
just stops herself and
yeah, you just see these people kind of taking the drinks and looking a little bit off, and they'll take a sip and make these faces. And as they're making these faces, you see one of the waiters like they're almost like doing magic cleanup behind, like just taking the drink and like, yep, we're sorry, yep, we'll fix this, yep.
Does
okay,
anyone
yep.
complain? Does anyone complain?
They're getting a little upset about it, but they also see that Mickey has come back with Nazar and with Marple, and they're kind of like thinking, okay, we'll just sit tight for a little bit. And Mickey will actually put her hands and be like, all right, everyone, things are under control. Let's go back to normal. I will make sure all of your orders are completed. Not to worry. You can sit down over there. You can have a nice seat in the lounge. We will make sure you are reimbursed for your interesting trial tests of our new barkeep, who you thankfully have helped me realize what little more training he might need. So thank you very much, everyone. You've been of great assistance. And everyone's kind of clapping and saying, oh, okay, a new guy. Great, great, great. And a couple who have gotten their wine and their ales will toast you because as far as they know, yeah, it's good stuff. Why not? And they'll kind of push a couple of coin your way, Banaz. The others who got the bad drinks, they're just going to walk away kind of like, almost like looking for napkins to wipe their mouths for some of them. But everyone's dissipating, and then Mickey's going to have you all sit at the bar, and she's going to walk back around, and as she's mixing up the right orders and everything like that, she's going to basically start talking, you know, this is the problem. We know there's other things here. We just don't know where they've been put or why they are here. Unfortunately, our information source isn't as forthcoming as he said he was going to be, even though he promised he would work with us. Let's just say some interesting measures are now going to need to be taken at this point. But I can tell you this right now that thanks to you, we didn't have the place go up in flames, because that little bugger over there, he likes to make things go spockety spock and off flambe, if you get what I mean. Mm-hmm. So Bianca should be back soon. In fact, I'll signal for her to get here. Is there anything I can get you to drink while you wait, or anything else you'd like to enjoy?
Another wine. Why not?
Another wine? Oh, sure. Not a problem at all. By the way, how did you fare in that? You doing okay? Is everything all right for you?
I got a little bit of a, from one of those moths.
All right. I know exactly what your wine needs a little bit extra here, my dear. And you see her kind of taking this tiny little pretty vial, and she's adding a little bit of something to your wine, and it swirls around, and the wine gets this very neat almost two-tone shift, so it's red and purple, and it's blending together, and it goes back to just being a nice dark red wine. Drink this up, and I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit better for you. And she's just basically giving you some cure wounds.
Oh,
and
nice.
you will get 5 points of HP.
That's exactly what I took. So
Well, hey, perfect. And what about you, BS over there? Thanks for your help, by the way.
No, I'm fine.
You sure?
Yeah, no, I'm totally fine.
All right, well, let's shake on helping me out here, because I do appreciate your taking over for just a little bit.
Oh, it's okay. It was fun.
Do you shake her hand?
I shake her hand.
Okay, you two are also going to be getting some cure wounds from her, and you are going to be getting 7 points of HP back.
Nearly a waste, but, it's her spell slots.
All right, and then Nazar, what would you like?
I'm just gonna say, do I need the medicine right now, or did I take that already?
Did you take any damage?
I got that weird look. I don't know.
Oh, that's right. So she goes, oh, yeah. All right, just a second. And you're going to see her turn her back, and she's not going to where the liquor is. She's going to this little pantry behind the bar, which you really can't see, but you're hearing cabinet doors open. And then she goes, okay, this one should be ready. And she pulls out this glass pitcher, and inside of it, you can see it looks like it should be milk. And then she takes out a glass, and as she starts to pour this glass, it starts coming out very thickly. There's a couple little chunks that go click, clunk, click, clunk. All right. Here you go, my friend.
All right. Ah. Wow.
So,
Yellow.
You basically just had to drink some curdled milk, so now you are no longer on the effects of the Marco's ill manners curse. So you are all good again. You don't have to worry about your charisma checks. And as you're choking down this lovely, thick, sour liquid, you feel the room's air shift a little bit. And just as before, you notice out of the corner of your eyes that there is this gray, black, misty shimmer that appears. And suddenly Bianca is standing right next to Mickey behind the bar. Well,
how's it going?
Great. It seems that I've left you in a rather similar place. How did it go this evening?
You missed the party.
Yep.
And she looks back over the dance floor. It looks like it's still going on. Everything go all right while I was gone?
There's a little bit of a different party at the fireplace. We had a little bit of a battle on our hands.
A few
Is that
moths
so? Moths?
and a really nasty little hairy dude.
She
Glowy
means
eyes.
She means a Marco. A Marco. Wonderful.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, there are these lovely little irritating fellows who, if they're allowed to the resources, they can do some harm to buildings thanks to their pyromania, to put it nicely. For most part, they can tend to be just into irritation. But
They are
if given
pretty
certain
squishy.
orders, I could see it being a little bit more than the irritation. And you said you stopped one of them?
Yeah, I was trying to cause trouble in the fireplace.
All right, well, it's a good thing you caught that in time then. As much as I try to keep this place protected, sometimes nature's elements can take a little bit more control than I can take care of in my absence. And there were moths along with it.
Yeah, these soot moths.
All right, that's good to know. I'm going to make a note of those moths. I have a feeling that our firewood supply may have been tainted. These things tend to crop up if they've been in the wood, and then the wood is set on fire, unfortunately. The Marco's a little bit more of a concern because he somehow got through my magical barrier, so that is something I definitely need to look at more closely. But as far as I'm concerned, the place is still standing. The patrons are still enjoying themselves. And outside of probably a little cleanup around the fireplace area, which I'm sure my lovely waitstaff already has in control, I'd say we are looking right as rain at this moment. So it is completely up to you. You are welcome to stay for the rest of the evening if you'd like and enjoy some more beverages. I'm more than happy to make sure that you have your fill of whatever it is you would like to eat. I'll also make sure, if you'd like to, there is a bed ready and waiting for you as well.
I'm down for some dinner right now. I'll take it. I'll definitely take a steak, another ale.
All right, that won't be a problem at all for you, Mr. Nazar. What about you, Mr. Banals? What would you like to do?
Oh, well, yes, eating and drinking, but also it seems to me that you have magical problems. I would like job.
You would like a job?
Yes, your bouncer person is far too impressed with cleaving things in half, and things are getting through magical barrier. I will be bouncer for you. It's okay, we can talk about pay later.
Let's talk about pay later. Would you like to have anything to eat or anything to drink? I'm sorry, I'm still processing the offer to work. I was not anticipating that one.
Don't worry, I do. My services are very cheap. I will take perhaps some more of that lovely the little chicken strips with the brown crumbs. They were very nice. Are there any more of those?
Calamus can pull together whatever it is your heart desires, not to worry. And you, my dear lady?
I think just dinner and drinks and a bed would be lovely.
Then I will make sure that Evie gets one of our more comfortable rooms pulled together for you, so you can have a nice, restful, and comfortable evening once you are fully content down here. Not to worry at all. So she'll direct you to a nice little bar table. It's not the same place where you were sitting before, but it's a table that's, for 4 people. And the stools are basically the right height and everything like that, so everyone can go and sit, and your orders are brought out promptly. You can sit and enjoy, and as this evening is coming to a close, is there anything you'd like to discuss with each other?
This was I was going to say, you mentioned working here. Not a bad idea.
Well, I mean, it seems they need the help. They're pulling random strangers from random places. I mean, really, I'm doing them a favor.
Plus, there are a lot of, there are a lot of nice things here that I'm just saying, little sparkly things that kind of caught my eye.
And between you and me, I think this will not be my first time behind the bar. I quite like making these drinks.
Oh, God.
Yeah, maybe we can stay for a couple days. Who knows? I'm sure there's more. If these monsters came, there's probably going to be more. So maybe we can see this through.
All right. So you guys are planning to definitely stay overnight at least?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you all finish your meals and your drinks. Evie comes over towards the end of the evening as everything's wrapping up and it's quieting down and the patrons are leaving. If y'all like to follow me upstairs, I can show you to your rooms and get you all set and comfortable for this evening. If that works for you, just come along and follow me. And she'll start going up the stairs. There's the stairs that Bianca did not come down. And she'll lead you to your bedrooms. And she's going to open up the doors. You each get your own room, and they're just comfortable, easygoing rooms with nice fluffy pillows and a little place to sit. And she'll let you get all settled. And you're going to notice on each of your beds is another note folded over with your names written on the front. And BS, your full name is actually written there on the front as well.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Take a look.
Open mine up.
Okay.
Yep.
So the note is basically just saying, thank you again for your assistance. I am interested in perhaps having you work with us. However, you are going to need to make sure you complete this resume before I can offer you some sort of position here at BB's place. And then pretty much
Need to complete and resume? Resume? What? Complete or resume? Do I continue or do I stop?
So we're going to leave Bert puzzling over that as the night comes to a close and you start getting into your beds. And in the morning, as you wake up and you start to fill out your resumes, do you wish to fill them out?
Sure.
Okay, you start filling out your resumes and suddenly the words start to dance across the page. It begins to get a glowing green and blue to it.
Oh,
And you are back into that darkness. Suddenly the music is no longer dancing in the background. It is quiet. And when you find yourself feeling solid ground again, you are standing outside that tavern where you first met BB. Except you're going to notice attached to your hip is 200 gold pieces. And in that hand of yours where you were holding that resume was, you're welcome to come back as a guest anytime on me. Fondly, BB.
All right.
Welcome to
Calling it a
BB's
win, guys.
place.
Well, if there's one thing I've learned about this whole thing is reading and writing is bad for you.
Looks like we got a new friend.
Oh, welcome Raiders from Pro Restarter. I think you've joined us right at the end. Welcome, welcome,
Hello, everyone.
welcome. Well, what a fantastic little game. Thank you so much, V.
You're welcome. You guys did great, by the way.
thank you.
Thanks for
done.
doing it. It was great.
No problem. You did a great job. It was a lot of fun playing with you guys as players.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Good, I'm glad.
Cool. Well, why don't we go around? We'll talk about what our favorite part was, where we can find each other online, and all the other wonderful things that we do. And this time we'll go this way around. So we'll start with Lynn. Oh, hi.
Hello. I usually play fighter types. At least that's what I'm doing lately in my home game. I'm a swashbuckler. So it's kind of fun being a rogue and just more thiefy. I was really fighting the urge to try to steal from BB. But I thought that might not go well. But it was really fun. It was fun being a little gnome. So I really enjoyed the challenges of being small and playing around with the height difference. That was a blast. So I've never done that before. So
Fantastic. And so, did we go through where we can find you online and all the wonderful things that you do?
You can find me on Twitter. I'm all over Twitter, and look for me as part of the upcoming Uncaged anthology, which is being released on DM's Guild on March 12th. I'm in volume 1. And we don't have details yet, but we are in conversations to do a charity stream of some kind to benefit rain.org. So look for details about that. I'll be posting when I have more information. So that'll be forthcoming.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I've put your Twitter in the chat there so people can follow you there. And we'll go around next to FX Mongrel. Oh, hi.
Hey, what's up, guys? I want to say this was awesome. I can tell a lot of prep went into that, and just the fact that you guys have this channel and the space for people to come learn, like myself, and that's like something that's really special, and I think it's really unique, especially on Twitch. So good job, guys. I love playing with all of you. My name's Alex again for people who just came on. On Twitter, I'm FX Mongrel, and on Instagram and Twitch, I'm Mongrel FX. Somebody had taken it when I made a Twitter account, so I don't know who that is, but if you're out there, I'm going to get that somehow. But yeah, I had a great time. On my own Twitch, I do gaming streams, fitness streams, and like Jump Force anime. Like I try and work anime in there as well. But yeah, so thank you very much. And yeah, I hope to be back sometime.
Fantastic. It'd be great to have you both back. You're both great. Thank you so much for this game.
Thank you.
Next,
Thank you for hosting it.
You're
Yeah,
more than
thank
welcome.
you.
More than welcome. It is genuinely my pleasure. Next, we come round to our DM. Second time DMing on stream, but, you know, she's old hat at that now. V! Oh, hi!
Hello. No, it's funny. It's one of those things where I was actually glad I have this thing set up the way it is, because when you asked last night if I wanted to take it on, I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, why not? But no, I really love playing. The two of you were fantastic. You did a really great job. I liked how you got into your characters. I like how you connected to the different NPCs. It was really a lot of fun to see how it was playing out and where you went with everything and what you wanted to focus on. So very big thumbs up to both of you. You did an excellent job. Wonderful. I hope we get a chance to play together again sometime in the future. Honestly, that was definitely my favorite part, was seeing how you were working with everything else that was going on around you. So I am V. I am the Crafting Muse. You can find me on YouTube, where I have a channel showing you how to make miniature terrain, paint miniatures, as well as some game accessories. You can also find me here on Scratticus Academy playing every Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock with these wonderful new player games, which I love doing. I'll also get pulled in here and there for some one-shots as well. You can also find me over on Mini Terrain Domain on Twitch every Monday and Thursday night. However, tonight we're taking the night off because it is Valentine's Day. But usually I'll be playing at 8:30 on both those nights. The Monday one is a Dragon Heist game called All That Glitters. The Thursday night is a lovely game that we have Jake running, and we are doing our season 2 called The Forge of Fury for the Dong Bringers, and that is just a lovely Tales from the Yachting Portal collection of D&D 5e. So you can find me over there, as well as on Twitter and on Instagram and on Facebook and a few other social media places. And I will be playing this game over at D&D in a Castle with the Nerdarchy crew at Carousel Castle at the end of June. So that's what's going on with me right now.
That's a lot. That's awesome.
It's great, and I can't wait till D&D in the Castle either, just because that means that V's in my neck of the woods, so we get to meet up, which is going to be cool. I'll be stealing V away at some point to go and do things. I don't know what yet. I don't even know what yet, but it's going to be great. Good old Blighty. I wonder if that means I need to switch to daytime times. Oh boy. I mean, it would be easy for you to just stick to, like, US time,
well, I mean,
right?
Yeah,
Jet
I'm
lag?
only going to be there for a few days ahead of time anyway, so we could probably still stick to the Eastern Coast time. It'll help me get ready for when I go back home.
Yeah, we'll negate the jet lag altogether, that's
Yeah,
fine.
we'll figure it out. Do we want to be, like, full-on night owls? Why not?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah, we should cosplay or something. Anyway, hi everyone. My favorite part. It's difficult to say, to be honest. I think it's got to be the NPCs. The NPCs, you've just got to put so much effort into them. Like you can tell, like every single one of them has not. It's not just that. Like what I tend to do is when I do an NPC is I just pluck a voice and then that ends up being the character. But you can tell that these NPCs have backgrounds, they have personalities, they have things, they have connections between each other, and then a voice on top, and it's wonderful. And I loved getting the chance to play with you two as well, Mongrel and Lynn. I thought the catching Marple out of the fireplace moment was, you know, interestingly awkward. I like awkward moments in roleplay, and it's sorry.
I thought you were actually gonna, like, you know, get them to come out of the chimney. The fact you went to go into the chimney, I'm like, okay, well, this is gonna be interesting. And if anyone's interested, these are creatures that I'm pulling from the Creature Codex from Kobold Press. It's a fantastic book if you kind of want to spice things up with some new and different monsters and NPCs as well. I would highly recommend checking them out.
Cool.
Yeah, I used to run a lot of Kobold Press modules. They are good fun. I used to use the prepared modules a lot. Good stuff comes from the Kobold Press. We like them over here. Hashtag not sponsored. Let's okay, so my things. This is my channel, everyone. If you've enjoyed it, check out these things. We have social links. Check out our Discord, our Twitter, and our YouTube. Also, check out our Patreon, where you can support us from as little as $1, and every dollar is greatly appreciated. Unfortunately, we've dropped a little way away from our goal of $500 a month now, where we've dropped down, but we're still doing very well, and you're still making it worthwhile. Yesterday, we started for the first time. We put the Dynamo Zoom chat on there for $5 pledges. It's just another one of those fun things. You can see behind the scenes what we're saying in the background. We don't do it with all the chats, only with those which are, you know, consenting, and those that are, you know, particularly lively and stuff. So it's worth a little reading. And we have another article coming from Renee very soon, bigger and better than some of the others, I'm told. It's going to be great. We also have merchandise. If you want to get this crest on your chest, head over to the Redbubble. We also are sponsored by Bird in the Storm Publishing, who create modules for D&D and other TTRPGs. And we are also sponsored by the Mage Hand Press, who who created the Dark Matter Alpha, a sci-fi expansion for D&D 5e. And they also make other expansions, and we'll be exploring one of those expansions next season, as I'm going to take on a viewer game and be doing a completely different universe. Should be a lot of fun. Also, check out the panels below, where you can find arasavad.com, ruinc.com, and tabletoploot.com, and get a 10 to 15% discount. Please do go and check those out. Today, we are going to be going and visiting someone that we visited the other day, but they were just wrapping up. So hopefully today, they'll be live for a little while longer, because they are wonderful, and I would love for you all to follow them and enjoy their content. We're going to go and follow Random Tuesday. Random Tuesday is a part of the Geek Space TV squad, who are also committed to creating an inclusive, safe space where we can play games together, and that support, yeah. I'm just reading in chat that it's like you're like a filthy gremlin if you wear a t-shirt in 2 days in a row. Is that true? Am I a filthy gremlin? I like do that all the time. Like
That's definitely not true.
Okay, cool. Good.
That or you're an 8-year-old kid. I don't know, one of the two.
Okay, I'll be an 8-year-old kid. That's fine. I can deal with that. Did we have a by 2 I mean 3? Oh, okay. Now we're starting to get judgmental. Complete resume. That'll do for a raid cry. Thank you very much, Connie. We'll use that as we go in. Raid it into the thing. There we go. When we raid, spam that in the chat. Get on the follow train. I'd love to see a bunch of followers heading Lauren's way. That'd be fantastic. And until next time, keep on evoking emotions. The stream's just pretty much dropped. It's back again. Oh well, right at the end. See you later, everyone. Bye!